Ivanka just loves the Marauder's milk dispenser.
To all my niggas and my bitches, this is the Trump, the criminal mason that grabs them all by the cunt. Don't stun on me, I fake assassinations, shooting blanks all over the place, they blood on my face. Stupid Americans are easy to persuade. They civilly been late and made those buildings go away. They signed their death certificate. Your taxes going to those that are less significant. So let's get in trouble. They're cooking puppies and kittens. Most men are bitches that'll never take off the minutes. Steady bitching but never ending towards the pain inflicted.
FBI, open up! I didn't do anything! Don't tase me, bro! Don't tase me! I didn't do anything! Ow! 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 Let me go! No! Let me go! Ow! Oh my God! Why did you rescue me? What did I do? What did I do? Stay back! What did I do?
Get away from me, you and your jerky questions, you bloody fool.
Bunch of fucking weirdos.
Yes, we have to quickly get to our next guest. He's a very busy man.
Really?
But he decided to stop by today just to wish you a happy birthday. We haven't seen him in a while, certainly not since he says he won $20 million in the Tyson Holyfield fight.
Oh, there he is.
Here is Donald Trump.
Donald Trump always stopping by. Look at him. Yeah, I got to get to the bottom of that $20 million.
Yeah, let's see if we can get him to give us some of the money.
There he is.
It was money he wasn't expecting anyway.
Hey, Donald, get your hand off my mother's ass. What's the matter with you? You're a married man. Out there's my sister, really into him. What, you lose a bunch of weight or something?
Yeah, you look great.
Yeah, you look
How
good.
are you?
Here he is, the richest man in America, Donald Trump. Where were you, in the sun? What happened? Yeah, sit down. Sit down.
Yeah, see, he's got so much money now he doesn't even work anymore.
Yeah, you're not working anymore?
Howard.
You were on that. How you doing? Thank you, first of all, Donald, for coming in here and brightening our day as you know you do.
Well, thank you very much.
Now, you look
Thank
like you've been in the sun. What were you, on a vacation?
Well, I was actually playing tennis yesterday in
with who?
Palm Beach.
Now, it had to be with somebody famous, right? You wouldn't just play tennis with anybody.
Somebody very attractive and reasonably famous.
Who is that?
I can't tell you.
Your wife?
Yes.
Yes, it was, right?
That's right.
So anyway, what happened with the $20 million? Did you really win the $20 million, or?
Well, you know, a reporter came up and
Right.
said, "Did you win $20 million?"
Right.
And I said, "I have absolutely no comment."
Really?
And they said 3 or 4 times, "Did you win?" I said, "I have absolutely no comment."
Right.
The next day, I was quoted in every paper.
Right. As
saying that I did.
Right.
And in actuality, I made a very, very small bet.
Right.
It was much less than that amount.
Well, only
and
like
now
10
Mike
million.
Tyson's angry at me.
Why?
Really?
Why is he angry at you?
Well,
Because he
he's
bet
angry
against him.
Oh, because you bet. Oh, that's right. But you did bet against
Evander Holyfield is a little bit upset because I said I only made the bet because of 20 to 1 odds.
Yeah, right. You like the odds.
So they're all calling and they're all angry. I lost a lot of friends.
But you have to bet because you own casinos and
Life
stuff.
is
so
a bet.
That's right. That's the way it is.
Life is one big fat bet.
Let me ask you a question, though. When you bet and you win, do you still have to give some of that to Ivana, or are you done with that completely? Are you out of that whole mess?
Well, she's developed a little cottage industry with, you know, Donald. And
Yes,
she works.
that's right.
But, you know, you hand a woman
Yes.
a lot of money.
Oh, she's a girl because she doesn't think like a woman.
You've always said that.
I never liked her.
You've
I never
actually
liked her. I always
you
thought she was
never
bad
liked
for you.
her.
Never liked her, and I
You
stuck
never
with you through the
liked
whole divorce. When a lot of people were coming down on you, a lot of women's lib types were saying you should stick with your wife, this and that. I
That's
thought
right.
Ivana was a big pain in the ass. You got rid of her, and you're doing just fine. I'll be honest. I run from accents. I never
And, you
thought...
know, he's been very consistent.
Really?
I will tell you, he has been very consistent. This is a huge audience.
It's funny
Yes,
because
it is.
Donald has always said there's only 2 people who stuck with him through the whole thing, and that was Marla and you.
That's right.
And
Me and
Howard
Marla are
was
alike.
right. Well, of course,
Let's wife
Howard
swap.
came to my wedding.
Yeah.
And I ran back and turned on the television because we had lots of coverage. I wanted to see how they covered my wedding. This
That's
is
right.
not good.
You're right.
Now, Marla hasn't been there before. I've been there before. So,
Right.
you know, I wanted to see how it was covered. And they had him, he said there wasn't a wet eye in the house.
Right.
That was one quote,
Yeah.
which was a total disaster. And the other thing he said, this is the night of the wedding. You know, you're sitting, it's romantic, it's beautiful.
Right.
He said, I give the marriage 4 months at best.
Yeah, that's true.
This
I
was on
wrong.
every television station
Yeah.
in the country.
You have outlasted
This
that
was a
prediction.
disaster.
That's the only reason-
No, I made him look bad.
That's the only reason he stayed married, to prove me wrong. He would have been divorced a long time ago. He just
I
has to prove
see,
me
I
wrong.
see.
But of course, I wasn't the only famous guest. OJ was there, and of
That's
course,
right.
you provided the
OJ.
picture for the back of my book. book.
Right. I should get a piece of that book. That was a very successful book.
Yes, it was. But I'm not giving you anything from it.
And, of course, you think O.J. is very innocent. I know that. Right?
Yeah, well, by the way...
Why else was he on the back of the book?
By the way, let me make a statement here, and this is a testament to Donald Trump. O.J. didn't kill anyone that night that we were at the wedding. You kept O.J. You kept him in line.
Night.
That's right. You
Not
really
that
did.
night.
I was afraid. You were really good friends with O.J., right? I mean, I was shocked by
how good a friend would you say he was?
Well, I used to play a lot of golf with O.J.
Yeah.
And I was always a little bit surprised when I'd see that O.J. he was very arthritic and he wasn't able, because I said, gee, I just play golf with him. I mean,
You never saw him have a problem, huh?
Didn't seem to be anything wrong with him when he was playing
He
golf.
took a lot of Advil. That was the thing.
How come they didn't call Donald as a witness?
Yeah, I know. Well, that'll be next.
In fact, I was standing next to O.J. when you were cutting the cake, and O.J. says, I wonder what kind of knife that is that Donald Trump is using. He was like really curious. You know what I mean? It was pretty wild. That's it. So
But Dominic called me up. Where's Dominic?
Dominic Barber, the bloat. There he is, over there.
He called me. He said, "You've got to be here. You've got to be here." And I missed last year, and I felt all year long. I felt guilty about it.
Is
so
that
I said,
right?
"I'm going to be here."
Well, I'm glad you're here this year.
You should be here. It's a tradition to be here on the birthday.
It's almost tradition.
And you couldn't feel too bad
Right.
about the fact that Ivana's now suing the people who made her yacht or whatever.
Yeah, you love that.
Know, what people don't know, Ivana calls me constantly. I need a yacht. I want a boat. I want a. This is not a yacht. First of all, it's a cabin cruiser. Okay?
Right. It's not a real yacht. Yeah.
I asked, as you saw, I asked her not to buy it. Don't buy it. But once you buy it, you have it.
Right.
Now you don't knock the hell out of it. So now it's got zero value. She's not going to win the lawsuit. It's got zero value.
What are you saying? She's not a good businesswoman?
So she lost $6 million of my money, and I'm not happy about it.
Right. She bought a yacht with your money and lost the money.
She certainly did.
Yes, she did. And the thing,
problem.
you know, I'm sitting on the plane. I see this First Wives Club, and they got Ivana, and I said, "This is another thing. You just sit home and take care of the kids. Take care of Donald's kids."
It does get out of control, but that's okay.
Right. Now, how do you feel about your daughter's modeling career? Are you okay with that?
She's doing great. I mean, she's really, she likes it. Ivanka.
Right.
And she's doing tremendously well.
Well, listen, and you're doing well. You are here. You're remarried. Your marriage is successful. Yes, it's true. The whole thing with Ivana was very public and all that. But as Donald taught me one very important lesson.
What did he teach you?
He took me aside at his wedding, and he said to me, now I'm getting remarried. He said to me, Howard, vagina is expensive. That is what he said to me, and I'll never forget those words. And the guy was right.
Those are exact words?
Those were the exact words, ladies and gentlemen. And don't I know it. The great Donald Trump, everybody. Thanks for coming by on the birthday show. Donald Trump.
You understand?
All right, let me tell you why I admire Donald Trump. Donald, are you there? I mean, Mr. Trump. I shouldn't.
Mr. Trump.
Anybody who acquires that much wealth should be called Mr. Trump.
That's when you get a Mr. in front of your name.
Oh, you damn right. I respect that. Right off the bat, I respect that. I respect anybody who can acquire that kind of wealth and maintain
and you
it.
can't call him Donald and respect him?
No. Mr.
You
Trump.
can call me Donald, and I'll tell you it's been a lot of fun.
I'm not comfortable calling you Donald, all right? Let me tell you why I admire you. You've done something, again, you've impressed me.
How did he impress you this
All right. So I'm watching TV, and as you know, Mr. Trump bought 2 beauty pageants. He purchased, and at first I said, why would somebody buy beauty pageants? The second he buys them, they become a big deal.
Yeah.
He bought this Miss, Universe?
Miss Universe.
And Miss USA pageant.
Right.
Now, the Miss Universe, it turns out, the woman who won last year blows up to a fat pig. I mean, like obese. Now, most people would have fired her. Because she broke the rules.
Were calling for her to be fired.
She was like obese. Mr. Trump goes in there and he says, look, he says, listen, you. He pulls her aside. He says, I'm not going to fire you. But you better get skinny. You better lose some weight. What the hell? It's almost a fraud here. You pass yourself off. For 1 year, keep yourself under control. Learn to diet. And
Isn't there a clause that says she can only gain so much weight?
More or less, yeah.
You whipped this fat slob into shape. I don't know how you did it. I see all these diet plans, everything else. God bless you. You whipped her into shape, and you held the whole pageant together. Congratulations.
Well, that was an amazing one, Howard.
How did you whip her into shape?
She went from 118 to almost 170.
Yeah.
And you got her right down again to 118, didn't you?
Well, she's going to be there. She's probably 145 or something. Right?
Wow. What did you do? What did you threaten? I mean, how do you do that?
Did you make her walk from Venezuela?
Well, we actually
I should have said, when my wife, I got to tell you something. When my wife gave birth, took her 2 years to lose the goddamn fat. I should have sent you in there.
Your wife is beautiful.
Beautiful, yes.
Your Your wife is a winner, and your wife is beautiful.
It took my wife. Listen, she looks good now because I got her out there jogging, and I got her going.
You're sort of like Donald Trump.
I am. I said, you're married to a guy. He's doing a movie. What are you, a slob? Don't you want to present yourself nice? And she whipped herself into shape. And believe me, I threatened her. I said, you want to end up like Ivana?
Oh.
I said, pull yourself together. And she did. You saw her at the birthday show.
Great.
She looked terrific.
Never looked better, Howard.
Right, exactly. So how did you whip this gargantuan woman into shape?
Well, it was an amazing phenomenon. She weighed 118.
Right.
And when she won, I don't know if you saw the contest last year. It was from Las Vegas.
She was
but
beautiful.
When she won, she was as beautiful a woman as I've ever seen.
She looked like Cindy Crawford.
Right. She gained about 55 pounds in a period of 9 months. She was like an eating machine.
What does a girl eat to gain 50? I mean, in less than a year to gain...
She must never stop.
I mean, where was she?
I guess she ate a lot of everything. And
oh, my God. I mean, her bowel movements. How many did she have a day?
Terminate her crown, her Miss Universe reign.
No, you were smart. You turned it into an event. You said, listen.
It has become a major event.
Yeah, now everybody can't wait to see what she looks like on pageant night.
Right.
Will you keep her under wraps until pageant?
Actually, she's going to be on tonight. I'm in Louisiana today because they have the Miss USA pageant, which has turned into a big deal.
Now, your beautiful wife, Marla Maples Trump, who is so beautiful, so much more beautiful than your first wife. What a smart move, trading up like that. I swear to God, the other one was a real pain in the ass. You cut your losses. I admire that so much. And now you have Marla Maples Trump. She will host the Miss USA pageant. Is that correct?
She's hosting it tonight with George Hamilton. It's on CBS.
George Hamilton? That loser?
You know what? Howard, he's amazing. I just saw him. The man looks great, and he's great at what he does.
Really?
What does he do?
You watch it tonight, and you'll see.
Really?
It's great.
Well, listen, as long as your wife... What's your wife going to be wearing? Something plunging?
Very plungy.
Oh, what she looks like. Oh, my God. Did she have work done? She looks better than when you married her.
She actually does, I would say.
She does. She didn't have any work done, did she?
She had no work.
Really?
Zero work.
Isn't it nice to have a woman that doesn't need any work?
Donald made her blossom.
Yeah, I mean, what a bod on her, huh?
Well, you watch tonight, you'll see.
What's it like when you lay down with her? Tell me. Tell me what it's like.
Donald's blushing. You make him blush.
He ain't blushing. He loves this. What's it like when you lay down with her?
At 6:20 in the morning in Louisiana, I'm just thinking about this.
How many outfit changes will she have?
How many what?
How many outfit changes?
I think she probably has 3 or 4. It was very funny because last night late, they were rehearsing. 51 girls representing each state.
And you were there, I bet.
And the District of Columbia, and I was absolutely there. And I've never seen so many unbelievably beautiful girls.
I bet a few of these broads come on to you too.
Oh yeah.
Well,
What do you do?
What do you do?
Is it tough to stay away from?
It's a tough business. It's a tough world.
It sure is.
I said to a friend of mine as I walked into this room and you're mobbed by all these incredible girls, I said, somebody has to do this, and it might as well be me. It is really amazing.
Oh, I'm so horny.
These girls
I am so horny. I swear to God, I'd like to take a few of those girls home with me. Oh my God, your wife, though, boy, she keeps. Is she aggressive?
A little bit.
Yeah? That's what I like. I like an aggressive woman. I said to my wife yesterday, I said, I'm going to come home. I want you to pull my... Listen to this. I say to my wife, and listen, it's 20 years. I'm trying to keep the marriage going. Don't keep it alive. Listen, you do your best. I come home. I said, listen, when I come home today, right? Listen to this. I'll pull my pants down.
No, she said, I can do that.
Yeah. Then she goes, I can do that. Guess what happened when I got home?
What?
Nothing. Nothing. I'll tell you, I'm going to watch this Miss USA pageant.
I hope so. Speaking of your wife, I was at the opening of Chicago, which was terrific, about a few months ago. And I was with a group of people. And one of the people pointed your wife, had no idea who she was, said, there is a beautiful woman, okay?
Really?
And I looked over, and it was your wife.
Is that right?
But it was sort of interesting. You're very lucky, Howard. You are very lucky.
No, I am lucky. But you're around these beautiful women at this USA pageant.
Well, it's wild.
It's tempting, isn't it?
This is wild. I've never
see?
seen anything like it.
It doesn't matter how much money you have. He's in the same circumstances.
We have Miss Universe coming up in May, and that's all over the world. And in fact, if you'd like to be a judge...
Where?
At the Miss Universe.
Probably in Miami Beach.
No kidding.
Negotiating with various venues right now. But it's in the middle of May. And if you'd like to be a judge, you would see something that would be unbelievable.
Why don't you become a judge?
Hey, Robin, can we
because you know what will happen to me? If I become a judge, listen to this.
Yes.
If I become a judge, my wife will go, oh, can I go to Miami? When do you want to go down
bring
there?
your wife.
No, that's it. No, I want to go down there and be single.
You can always tell her you're working.
Yeah, she'll
You know
fall
what?
for
The
that.
offer is open to you to be a judge, Howard.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
come
you'll,
on, we'll
you'll
take
see
the show
something
down
like
there.
You know what, Robin? He will see something like even he has never seen before.
Oh, yeah? Snap and gyro? Snap and gyro? Yeah, they don't have that. Hey, listen, tonight, everyone watch Marla Maples Trump as she hosts the Miss USA pageant. She's going to be wearing several plunging necklines. It's nice to tune in and see what Donald's doing at night, right? That's
have
tonight.
to watch closely.
Even though George Hamilton will be there, we'll excuse that.
I'll tell you what, though, he does look terrific.
He looks terrific because the guy does nothing all day.
Now, Dominic got in trouble. When I went over to your birthday, I heard Dominic sort of had a problem or he got in trouble. Everyone was telling me.
Please, don't even bring it up.
What are you doing associating with him?
I don't know. He's the one. He kept calling me. You got to come. You got to come. It's Howard's birthday. You got to come. And, you know, I went over, but I heard Dominic sort of got in trouble with your producer.
No, or don't even bring it up.
Huh?
It's water. He's all right. He's
He's on your
okay.
side, Howard.
He's a good old boy. I'd rather know him than George Hamilton. George Hamilton's a tan vampire.
Yeah.
You hang out with that guy?
I don't really hang out. I never met him until last night, actually.
Yeah, real smooth.
But I'll tell you what. I was really...
He was friends with Imelda Marcos, you know.
That's true.
That
worked out very much to his advantage.
It sure did.
From what I understand.
The Filipino people didn't like it, but what are you going to do?
I would say the Filipinos weren't really too hot on that idea.
Hey, how you like OJ finally got his, huh?
Well, you know, it's unbelievable that took so long.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine? What was the decision? I think they had to stay in there a long time just to keep, everybody, all the races happy, make it look like some deliberating was going on, you understand?
It was, you could make the case of double jeopardy. Isn't this double jeopardy? But the attitude is, who cares?
Well, yeah. What are we going to do anyway? Listen, all I know is tonight we will be relaxing. I will probably be nude as I watch Miss USA. I have no problem telling you that it'll probably be a 3-tissue night.
Oh, stop.
I hear there's many beautiful women in this. I recommend that all my male listeners lay in front of the TV nude and pleasure themselves to the Miss USA pageant. And even I don't think Donald will mind if you like Marla Maples
Now,
Trump.
what are the stipulations in the Miss USA pageant? What kind of suits are we talking about?
Well, I said, and I got myself into a little bit of a problem. They said, how are you going to change the pageant? Because I bought it from ITT, the famous ITT that's now under siege.
Right.
I bought it a few months ago from ITT, and so somebody called up from Reader's Digest, and they said, what changes are you going to make to bring it up? I said, well, because it gets huge ratings.
Yes.
They've always gotten great ratings. And I said, well, the primary change is I'm going to get the bathing suits to be smaller and the heels to be higher.
Nice.
And we're going to bring it in. And a lot of people really just want to see it sort of updated. So we're going to update it.
Oh, you are
small bathing suits.
You're going to be smaller bathing suits?
Very tiny.
Wow.
And by the time I get it, by the time I have it for a year, forget it.
Oh, I like
do
it.
this a little gradually, Howard.
It's going to be like a Miss Nude pageant.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you something. You're on the right track. You know what the people want. They want smaller swimsuits. And I am not kidding you. I will watch the pageant, legs akimbo, nude, with my tissues. I will pleasure myself, and I promise not to finish during your wife's performance. You understand that. Out of respect to you. And congratulations on another great acquisition. The Miss USA pageant tonight on CBS at 9 p.m. Eastern.
It'll be a lot of fun, Howard.
All right, we'll all tune in.
You take care.
All right, thanks, Donald.
And Robin, take care of yourself.
All right.
Try.
So long.
Bye-bye.
And remember, send cash.
Okay. You have a deal.
Okay, thanks.
So long.
Well, he's smart. You hear what he said? He's going to make the swimsuit smaller. That's what I would do.
I'm shocked.
That's what people want.
I got to now see how small they are. I got to watch.
Yeah.
Hands on the pulse.
Beautiful. Beautiful guy. Knows what the people want. I like that.
There'll be nude girls on stilts tonight.
Yeah. Excellent. Oh, if I owned that beauty pageant, forget it. Forget with small bathing suits. You'd have girls picking up quarters off the stage and not with their hands.
We've seen your beauty pageant.
Remember my beauty pageant?
We know exactly what you do.
Remember his book, The Art of the Deal?
Yeah.
The book he should have written was The Art of Dumping Your Wife. The guy did it beautifully. The art of dumping everybody? Yeah, his wife is... I saw her up close. I went to that wedding. Oh, my God. What a little piece of ass. And she don't talk much either.
I heard she's a nice girl. People I know who
lovely.
worked with her.
Lovely.
She's very
lovely.
sweet.
Yeah, she keeps her mouth shut.
Not pushy like I'm.
No, and she's not pushy like I'm on a... She doesn't use the we term every minute. No. The Donald. She speaks English. This Ivana had an accent. You'd want to shoot yourself. It's cute for 30 seconds. It's cute when you first meet a girl and she has an accent. Trust me, never marry a girl with an accent. You'll
What
go
are you
berserk.
talking about?
Because the very thing that you find the cutest on a girl becomes the thing that
Everybody
irritates
has
you.
an accent.
No, you don't.
I'm the
Except when
only
you do
one.
that British thing. I don't know, but it's cute on you. No, when you marry, it's like even with my own marriage, the things that I found the cutest about my wife became the most irritating after 20 years.
What's irritating?
She has certain, I always thought it was kind of sexy that she had like a little hoarse voice.
You don't like that?
Now I tell her, clear your throat.
You're so crazy.
It's different things. And Ivana must have driven him nuts.
Why do you think he stayed away from him?
Yeah. Oh, God.
He was never there.
And the guy had tremendous success in his life, and every minute she'd jump on TV. We did it together. We did it. You didn't do anything.
Donald and I are a team.
Yeah, great. She has to spend like $8 million plastic surgery just to look presentable.
Boy, but she did it.
She sure did.
She's a different woman. You won't even recognize her from those old pictures.
I'll tell you, if I go into the Blade, I'm going to her surgeon.
Because I'm telling you, he could make you Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Because that's what he made her, Marla Maples.
Yep. Somehow I know I wouldn't be Brad Pitt when I got there. They'd make an accident. I know the accident would happen.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, whatever. Who cares? Anyway, watch the Miss USA pageant tonight on CBS. 9 p.m. Eastern. See smaller swimsuits and a very tan George Hamilton. All right, we'll be back right after these words.
You understand?
Howard Stern is questioning who would vote for Donald Trump following the president's disinfectant remarks. The radio host made the comment while taking a call from a Trump supporter in New York who defended the president's Thursday remarks about ingesting disinfectant to kill the novel coronavirus. Here's the controversial comment as captured by NBC News.
And then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning?
Trump, after being skewered in the media, walked the comment back on Friday, saying he was being sarcastic. Stern's caller used the sarcastic line when defending Trump. Stern, a one-time friend of Trump who had him on his show a number of times before he sought political office, was baffled, saying, "What's it going to take? I don't get it." The host also noted that while he was watching Thursday's press conference, he told his wife he doesn't think there is anyone left who will vote for Trump. Stern continued, "I'm very frustrated. It is mind-blowing to me. We have such a disconnect in this country. This caller is saying he saw that and he's okay with it." The caller told Stern he was biased because he would likely support Joe Biden, to which Stern said, "I am all in on Joe Biden. You see the wall that's right next to you? I'll vote for the wall over a guy who tells me that I should pour Clorox into my mouth."
Donald, just wanted to find out what brought you up here today.
Howard. Only Howard.
Only Howard?
Only Howard. And the fact that everybody has to buy my new book, but only Howard.
But you've been a big fan of Howard, right? Big supporter.
I'm a good friend of Howard. He's a great guy.
He's stuck with you for a long time, right?
He's always been with me. I've always been with him. Through thick and thin.
Now, he also was, I guess, predicted, and stop me if I'm wrong, did he predict your divorce, or?
He made lots of good predictions. Yeah, he did. He predicted my divorce the day of the wedding, which didn't help the marriage either. Right?
Yeah, did that have something to do with the demise at all? Or?
Oh, I would say absolutely. I think I'm going to blame Howard. In fact, maybe I'll sue him today because what he did was absolutely, that was it. Once he said that, it was over. Of course, it didn't actually help.
All right, great. Thanks, Donald.
Thank
See you in a couple
Good luck. Have a good time. Nice camera.
Thanks.
Donald Trump is here. He even brought the person who helped him write the book, Kate Boner.
Boner?
Yeah, and evidently she will give you a boner.
Is that right?
Yeah, I bet you he did her too. I wonder, because Gary said she's really hot. Yeah.
Well, that kept him interested in the book, probably.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing.
That's a smart move to do the book with a really good-looking. Wow. And there's your co-writer, Kate. Man.
Good morning.
I'd like to write a book with you next. Yeah. See, that keeps you interested in writing a book if you have a really good-looking chick writing with you.
It's always better.
You're unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
That is the best.
Book might never have been finished.
Never mind you, Donald. I want to talk to Kate. Kate, you worked with Donald how many months writing this book?
Oh, about 5 or 6.
You're a knockout.
Now, how did she get the job?
Hey, guys, I was a writer in Forbes magazine.
How did you choose? Please. How did you choose Kate?
Purely on her looks. Had nothing to do with anything. No, she's a very talented.
There's nothing wrong with choosing someone based on their appearance.
Yeah.
Did you work nude?
Oh!
Did Donald ever walk downstairs during the ride? Where did you write the book?
Where did you work on this?
In my bedroom.
It is. Right in the boudoir.
Oh, no.
With Kate.
In your bachelor pad.
And she's fallen in love with one of my executives.
Is that right?
Totally in love.
Not you?
It's like... It wasn't like an option.
Well, we're all in love with Donald. You know?
Did you work on a laptop? Kate, your last name is Boner?
It's Bonner, Howard, but I knew you were going to go there.
Oh, come on.
I knew you were going to go there.
Seriously, I want to get into the book and everything because there's a lot of interesting questions I have. I always learn new things about you. Yes, I know, and I want to read my passage. Yes, very nice.
We should read that whole thing. That was a pretty good...
I will. You said some very nice things about me.
I said if I did that, he'll give me a good shot on the show.
You're damn right. You're going to get a great shot.
He's thinking of promotion.
Yeah. It's not often that something nice is written about me. Kate, what happened? The process was that you and Donald would talk. Would you talk into a tape recorder kind of thing? And
yeah, Donald would. We'd talk about how to set up the chapter. I'd come up with an outline, and then Donald's
and where did you do all this work? Where did you do this work?
Mostly
at Mar-a-Largo. I wish I had a house that had a name. Did you do it in a hot tub? Because Donald likes to relax and he enjoys fine things in life. Would he take you to somewhere special to work on the book?
No, Donald's a worker. He's the hardest working man in New York.
No, I know that. Where would you do this, in Atlantic City?
No, he gave me an office on Wall Street in his new building, 40 Wall.
Wow.
So I worked down there.
Her own office to write on the...
Yeah.
It's a 72-story building, and she has the office where you fit a desk, a little desk.
Wow. Is there a bed in there?
The boiler room down at the bottom.
Were you attracted to her at all? I mean, seriously,
totally.
This is a very attractive...
No. I hired her really based on her look. I didn't check her... I didn't check
You didn't even know she could write.
No, seriously, when I wrote my book, I worked with Judith Regan, who was my editor, and I would sit with her every day and reach up to her, and once in a while, Judith would kiddingly take a pencil and poke it into my genitalia.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? She admits this. And it made it fun. I looked forward every day to getting down there and writing. And, I mean, seriously, when two attractive people are together in a room working on something like this, and Donald has a magnetism, he gets all the best-looking women.
I mean, according to his book, the women are throwing themselves.
Well, they are.
Dodging them.
I mean, he's not lying. Who's the new model you're dating now? I just read dark-haired beauty.
They do say a dark-haired beauty. I've really been going out with a lot of different people. I just love it.
How are you?
You wouldn't like it. I don't think it. See, you have such a great wife. You wouldn't. I don't think you'd like it.
It's terrific.
He comes here to torture you. I
hate when you do this. Don't torture me, okay?
No, going out with lots of beautiful women. It's not really that good. Aren't you better off going home, having dinner, going to sleep?
You know you don't believe a word you're saying. No, you don't.
I do in the case.
Is it the most fun?
You do have a great wife.
My wife is wonderful. She really is wonderful.
Marla's wonderful.
Marla is wonderful. Marla is wonderful. Ivana is wonderful. Everyone's wonderful.
Everybody's wonderful.
Yeah, but he's having a lot of variety, and that's what's great about it. Put on your headphones, Don, because you're not hearing Robin.
Robin gets the bulletproof glass.
Yeah, right.
You know what? Donald hates women so much he's not even going to put on the headphones.
How are you having sex with these women? When first of all, everyone's making a big deal about you with the shaking of the hands. He hates shaking hands with the germs. You used to tell me that for years on this show. Right. For years you stated that.
That's right.
And I agree with you. I believe colds are spread through shaking hands.
Yes.
And people are shaking my hand constantly.
But now people are analyzing him and calling him an egomaniac because he has admitted this.
What they did in the paper was they said that you wanted people to bow to you.
I know. See, they take it so out of... It's so ridiculous.
You said the Japanese custom of bowing to one another is very nice.
The only thing I like about the Japanese. I mean, to be honest, we have a custom.
They're tough to deal with. He is not kidding.
I have a great relationship with the Japanese.
You have to do business with them.
They loan me lots of money, and I pay them back some.
But the thing is,
Robin's the only one that
I got you.
Howard didn't catch it.
No, I caught it. Listen,
I'm writing a book.
Listen to me. When you have sex with all these different women, you've got to be nervous about AIDS, herpes, venereal warts.
Right.
Anal warts.
Chlamydia.
Do I need that? I mean, seriously, I would be scared out of my mind. I talked to a guy, a very high-powered guy who recently became single. You know him. Everyone knows him. And he said to me, it's really great. There's lots of really beautiful women and all that kind of thing. He says, but I'm scared out of my mind. I really don't want to die. I don't want to get AIDS.
It's frightening.
It is.
It is frightening.
So what do? You just wear rubber and you hope for the best?
Well, I wouldn't say I do this, but you could send lots of people that you really like to the doctor before you ever get to know them.
So Donald,
Isn't that terrible?
That is not terrible.
No.
Just to check
People
out
will
your
say.
date?
Do you have your own?
Tomorrow there'll be a story. I'm sure that lots of people.
Right.
So tomorrow there'll be a story that
Trump's really a bad guy. Just like
No,
with the
I would do the
Japanese with
same thing.
bowing.
I would do the same thing.
They're going to find the doctor.
No, the doctors are.
Kate, were you at the doctor by any chance? Just in case things got a little out of hand?
No, Howard, I wasn't.
Don't tell me you didn't think about having sex with Donald Trump while you were writing the book. Just think about it.
Even if I did think of it, I couldn't say it on air because I have a morals clause in my NBC contract.
Really? You have an NBC contract?
Or CNBC, yeah.
And
Really?
it's not moral to sleep with the Donald?
No,
No, it's just not moral
considered
to
not
talk
moral.
about it.
It isn't? So it must have crossed both your minds because, seriously, she's attractive. It never crossed your mind to sleep with her, being serious now?
Well, I don't think so. I looked at Kate really as a worker bee.
Right.
And she worked very hard on the book.
Because I'm going to write a book
She
with
is
Kate.
very beautiful.
Right.
And she's also going out with one of my executives.
Oh,
and
she is.
He's really good. And,
I see.
And she's very much in love. And we hope he is too, right, Kate?
Here's to hoping.
I'm all for worker bees, especially when they have a worker bee cup or C. That's beautiful. Thank you. All right. Anyway, so Donald, it's exciting to have you here. You've written a new book. I see you're all over the place with this. First of all, your daughter Ivanka is on the cover of the Daily News today.
Now, she's a beauty.
She's beautiful.
She's the most beautiful of all.
Now, you've got to worry about this because, seriously, why would you? Now, you've got all the money in the world, and your wife's wealthy, your ex-wife. I'm talking about Ivana.
Right.
Why would you want your daughter going? I figured you'd put your foot down and say, look, I don't want you doing this. You're 15 years old. Be a kid. And and just stay home.
Well, she really wants to do it, and she's very beautiful. She's 15 now, just going on 16, and she's 5'11", which is very, very tall.
Right.
For any age, and she is just great at it, and she loves it, and it's something for her to do. So she likes that. She goes to school. School is the priority.
Aren't you worried about this heroin chic?
I am. I'm worried about a lot of things.
And what about guys? Is she dating?
She's surrounded. I mean, we had a rock star come up to her, and you wouldn't believe what this guy looked like.
Yeah. What was his name?
Well, it didn't matter because
Tell me the name, please.
By the time Big Matt, I can't do that.
Out him.
I don't even know who the hell he is.
Well, what band was he with?
He had more tattoos than I've ever seen on a human being.
Go ahead.
And she thought he was absolutely awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
This guy was, but anyway, by the time my guy finished, Big Matt, the guy, he'll never call her again.
Oh, really?
He'll never, I promise.
Because a guy's got to be thinking, not only is Ivanka gorgeous, but he figures he can back the Brinks truck up.
Sure.
Because you would be his father-in-law.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's face it, that would be the mother load, would it not?
It wouldn't be so easy, though. But she's a great girl. And she's doing great. She's become a real top model. I mean, she's amazing.
Right. And okay, so let's get into the book. All right? Okay. So you wrote this book. And there's more revelations than I could even handle. First of all, one of the ones that I found fascinating that you write about is that you, for a while, hid Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley. I'm surprised the press didn't pick up on this more. You hid them at Mar-a-Largo.
They were at Mar-a-Largo. Actually, the press did pick up. That's where they fell in love.
Right. Now, you claim you heard them having sexual intercourse.
Do you remember?
No.
I did.
You did.
Did I say that in the book?
Well, you say that they were going at it hot and heavy.
Does that sound exciting to you or not?
Yes,
not
it does.
Really in that case?
I mean, no, but it's you say you think they were really doing it.
I think that they were really doing it. I mean, they were in the tower. They were holding hands. They were kissing all over the house. I really believe, and I say this in a positive way. I don't want to be ratting on anybody.
Go ahead.
Ratting would be almost going the opposite way. I think they really were in love, like incredible love. And
really?
The day they left Mar-a-Lago, they fell out of love.
Right.
They were there for about a week. And they were in the tower. And Michael.
And you
would
think they
stand
screwed?
Well, Michael would stand on top of this huge tower, way over the highest point in Palm Beach, and it'd look out, and it'd say, "Trump, Trump." There's press out there. The press is all over the street shooting pictures of the tower.
He calls you Trump?
Yeah, he calls me Trump.
Oh, nice.
Trump,
yeah.
Trump.
Hey, Trump, 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 Trump. Who is it? Trump, Trump, Trump. And could you say to him, "Hey, man, could you call me Donald, man? I'm hiding you, you bastard."
But they were there and they had a great time, and then it didn't work out so well after that.
Right. So you know the two of them, you hid them, and you believe that what was going on in the room was actual sex.
Absolutely, I believe that.
Unbelievable. The worst day of your life, you say, is when you were down to $900 million, or you lost $900 million?
No, I was down to a very low point. I had billions and billions in debt. I had $975 million personally guaranteed. It was around 1991, and I think I was on the front page of the Times and the Wall Street Journal that how could he possibly come back from this disaster? We were in a depression. Real estate prices were crashing. Casinos were crashing. Everything was crashing. Yeah. And that was my low point. And I got a call. And the call was from Ivana, who I took very nice care of. I mean, she's very, very lucky to have been married to me. But actually, you say that better than anybody else.
Ivana, she says, I want my $25 million from the prenuptial.
She was an upset woman.
Fine. So he gave her the goddamn, oh, please.
She did not want a divorce.
Well, he wasn't in love with her. What does he want?
But you got to get a reaction somehow. So, she tried kicking Donald when he was down.
She tried to get out of the prenuptial by saying, I didn't understand English. That Barracuda understood English fine.
To stop her.
Thank God you got out of that.
She is a good woman, actually, but she was a little
That's why you're still with her.
She was disappointed.
She was a little disappointing to me at that point.
She was disappointing to you.
A little disappointing.
Well, the guy was down, and
you know what? She didn't want to. It was very embarrassing. Here is a woman who used to run around the country, talking about how she didn't care about women's libs. Because the Donald. And it was personally embarrassing for her to be dumped so conspicuously.
But she wasn't really dumped, Robert.
Come on.
This was something that was long in coming.
Come on. That confrontation in Aspen.
Really?
That was pretty awful.
But things could have happened years before.
Yeah.
All I know is I'm distracted by your co-writer. Are you wearing? What are you wearing underneath that? Is that you just have a jacket on and no shirt underneath?
Shirt.
Oh wow, you are cute.
Not much.
Howard, I don't think she's wearing a bra. I hate to be
You're not wearing a bra.
And no makeup, Howard.
And no makeup.
I said, how do you go on a show with no makeup?
Wow. How you never been married or anything?
I was married once for a very short period of time.
Oh really?
To a writer.
Oh no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know about him.
He's now married to Tabitha Soren.
He left you for Tabitha Soren?
Oh, you're that one? Oh, boy.
What do you mean you're that one? Hey, you ought to write a book. What is it, Gary?
I didn't realize that this was a woman, but they did an article about her husband, her ex-husband, about the affair.
Yeah.
He's quite a character.
Well, what's his story?
He marries a lot of women.
How many times has he been married? Three? Yeah, and you were what, the second wife or the? Oh, you.
I was the second.
And Tabitha's the third wife.
Tabitha's the third wife. Yeah.
No kidding.
But he's a young guy, Howard. How old is he? 32.
36 or something. Yeah. Oh, young, really young.
Hey, so the guy made a couple of mistakes. I mean, is that so wrong? Why does that make him a bad guy?
Be quiet. You're always trying to see that's.
Wait a second. He got married two. Donald, you've been married 2 times. You can make mistakes.
I've been married twice, and you can make mistakes.
Well, wait a minute.
So
Donald.
we have to understand.
Donald.
Not 3 though.
Your marriage advice in the book absolutely cracks me up.
Now, what is it? What do you say?
Marriage advice is if your wife says anything, divorce her.
Well, why not?
Well,
I agree with that.
You read the book.
Speaks,
she really read the book.
Donald, are you saying if a woman
read that book last night?
Donald, are you saying that if a woman annoys you, why stay married?
No, I'm saying that if a woman doesn't totally support you, and I give examples of a professional golfer who's on the tour.
Right.
He's a friend of mine. He's got a lot of talent. I won't mention his name because why should I? Because
Tiger Woods. Go ahead.
But I have a friend who's a professional golfer who's married. He's a great player.
Oh, okay.
He could be a very good player.
Right.
Every night he gets a call from his wife. Why aren't you home?
Oh.
He says, because, why are you in North Carolina? Why are you in California? He plays the tour.
This is what I do.
He says, because I'm a touring professional.
Right.
Well, why don't you become a home professional? Well, because there's not quite as much money. He says, I'm a touring professional. I'm a great golfer. I have a chance to be a really great golfer. Every night she calls up crying and bitching.
Yeah.
And I said to him, get a divorce, because you're never going to change.
And you're doing her a favor. Let her get a guy who she really wants to be with.
And she won't be happy with that guy either, by the way.
See,
but,
of
course not.
He's drawing, he gives you a very broad example.
Okay.
What's a pretty broad example?
That is a broad example.
Who could not have been more supportive than Ivana? Ivana wanted to come home and discuss a little business because she was not working for him. So he said, I couldn't take it.
All right, what about that, Donald? Was Ivana the supportive wife that she paints herself to be, or was she a big pain in the ass? Go ahead.
I'll tell you what, I made a mistake with Ivana, and the reason I made the mistake is that I put her to work for me.
Right.
And then instead of having a wife, I had a business person.
Well, that's what you have.
And that was not so great. No, that's true. And I'm not blaming her for that.
And he got sick of her.
And all of a sudden I'd come home and she'd say, here's what we'll do tomorrow. This is what, the porters are meeting.
And you wanted to fix a bath for you and give you some sodomy.
I really didn't want to hear about it.
That's right.
And Marla, who only wanted to be a supportive wife.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? Seriously, what's going on with this bodyguard dude? Now, here's the way I see it. This Marla, who you were married to, who I knew you would never stay married.
You did. I tell you.
I did know.
And it did last longer.
It lasted longer than
I make that prediction, but you were wrong because it lasted a lot longer.
It lasted because I know what happened with you. What happened with you is that I know you with the fear of germs. You said, you know what? hey, this Marla's great. I remember you were dating Marla. She's a hot piece of ass.
And you
Don't
were
get me
dating a
wrong.
few others.
I would love to get into her pants, with your permission. Would you mind if I did her now?
I truly wouldn't.
You wouldn't even care. You wouldn't even be jealous.
That would be totally up to you and her. But
Right. I'm sure
and your wife.
I'm sure you're better sexually than I am anyway. I wouldn't screw that up for you. Marla, as far as I was concerned, was sort of like this thing where she, remember she started dating like Michael Bolton?
Right.
And she tried to make you jealous, and it kind of worked. You said, hey, she's a great piece of ass. I dig her. And you know what? I won't get AIDS from her. And what the hell? I might as well be, who's going to be better than her? I mean, I might as well just do her. This is exactly why you married her. I said this at your wedding. I sat there and told the people sitting next to me why you were marrying her.
This was the whole discussion at the
This
wedding.
was the whole discussion. Am I wrong or am I right?
Well, I will say this. I was married to two really nice women.
Absolutely.
I haven't been with either one of them for a long time, but they're nice women. At this point, they're both friends.
Right.
At this point.
Right.
It could change any second.
That could change on a moment's
It's going to form an army. Yeah.
And my opinion, therefore, could also change very quickly as to them. But
right.
But it could change instantaneously. But at this point, they're both very nice women.
Right.
And I sort of leave it at that. You know, I've had two.
But that's why you married. Am I right?
And I'm
Tell
not
me
an
why
easy
you
guy to be
married.
married to in a true sense.
Tell me why you married Marla, though. Am I right or am I wrong?
Well, I had a good relationship with Marla, but you know, it ended. I mean, my relationship really ended, just as it did with Ivana. And I don't blame anybody.
Now, getting back to dating, right? And when you got to say to a woman, hey, listen, you got to go to my personal doctor, and I'm going to have you checked out. Is that a tough thing to say to a woman, or you just got the balls to say it?
You know, I'll tell you, it's amazing. I can't even believe it. I've been so lucky,
right,
in terms of that whole world.
You've
because
never gotten a social disease.
It is a dangerous world out there. It's
It is.
scary. It's like Vietnam, sort of like, you know, the Vietnam era.
It is your personal Vietnam, isn't it?
It is my personal
It is. You've said that
Vietnam.
many
I feel
times.
like a great and very brave soldier.
A lot of guys who went through Vietnam came out unscathed. A lot of guys who've gone through the 80s having sex with different women came out with AIDS and all kinds of things.
They survived Vietnam.
This
and
is
they got
better
it in
than
the
Vietnam,
sexual
but
war.
it's
a little better, but every vagina
It's
is a
more fun.
landmine. Haven't we both said that in private?
A potential.
A potential landmine?
I think it is.
That's right. So
there's some real danger there.
When you go to a bar, do you ever go with a fleet of doctors and have them check all of the women and then party with the uninfected?
You know, the few. You mean the few uninfected.
Yeah, go ahead. So you say to a woman, you're romantic with her, let's say you do some kissing and stuff, and then you say, listen, I don't know about you, but I really want to go all the way with this thing. Would you go visit my doctor?
I'll tell you what, it's like the whole romantic process is terrible.
Yes.
Because you meet somebody,
right,
and you start really liking that person, and you start sort of getting warmed with that person.
Right.
And then you're really going at it, and then you say, excuse me, we have to stop now.
Yeah, like how far?
It's
like,
not like, you know, the 70s were the best time. 'Cause I'm old enough to have gone through the 70s.
Me too.
In the
I had
70s.
one girl during the 70s.
Howard,
In the
can I ask you
70s, it was so.
something?
Yes.
Well, okay, and with this whole theory, what happens if the girl has a liaison after she sees the doctor?
Well, then you have a problem.
Yes,
That's the thing.
you
It's
have to
nothing's
have them
foolproof.
checked every time.
There is that. You had to say that to
can have
Donald.
a-
Now
you
he's
can
like, oh my God.
No, I've thought of it too.
You have thought
I
of
don't
it.
like it.
So how do you protect that? Do
Well,
you have a follow?
You have to have a roving doctor. You have to have his office has to be in your
Doctor
briefcase.
lives with you at this point.
Dating
He
must
has to
be.
walk. He has to be your best friend. He has to
That's
go
right.
with you at all times.
Right.
Dating must
he
be
has
the
to
best.
do on-site tests.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Get
Hey,
Matt to medical school.
hey, by the way, you can meet Donald Trump today.
Oh.
Don't shake his hand. Please leave the
What
man
should
alone.
people do when they meet you, Donald?
Well, wait. Let me just ask you that, Robin. Now,
Right.
They were asking me coming into that little crummy camera. It's the crummiest looking camera.
It's the cheapest thing.
No,
Yes.
it's the worst looking camera I've ever seen. But they were asking me, would you shake Howard's hand? And I said, yes.
We've
Would you
shaken
shake
it.
Robin's hand? Yes. Would you shake Fred's? I don't think so. Gary's? I don't think so.
Yeah, there's a
Actually, I said Robin's, yes. Howard's begrudgingly.
Since you wrote that you don't like to shake hands, now do you find everybody's coming up and wanting to shake your hand even more so?
No, you know, amazing. So many. The book has become very big all of a sudden.
Right,
I mean,
right.
The book came out 4 or 5 days ago.
The Art of the Comeback.
It's become a really big seller. So,
Right.
so many people have read that chapter, and they are actually coming up to me with their hands raised and saying, Mr. Trump, I don't want to shake your hand.
Right.
And I
Now
said,
you feel
"Thank
even
you."
worse.
No,
But
I
then-
feel,
oh, you
I
do?
almost feel guilty, but I also feel like, hey, you know, we're making an impact.
That's weird. And you're mad at Governor Whitman. I'm supporting her. I like Governor
I know
Whitman.
you're supporting
I'm supporting her, but you don't like her because you feel she's helping out your her competition?
Well, I'll tell you what. She's spending $300 million to foolishly and very stupidly build a tunnel for a wealthy casino company that's coming to Atlantic City anyway.
Right.
And there's no reason to spend the money and have to raise people's taxes, and everybody's talking about it. The other two candidates are totally opposed to it.
Mm-hmm.
Why she's spending $300 million to build a tunnel for a casino company that's coming to Atlantic City regardless of whether or not there's a tunnel is beyond me.
Maybe because lots of new jobs, and she wants to make an environment.
Howard,
you don't believe that?
You're going to have the jobs anyway.
Really?
You're going to have the jobs anyway. They're coming anyway. And why spending that much money in a state where you have very high taxes?
Is she good in bed? Governor Whitman? Don't tell me you haven't had her.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, please.
That I wouldn't know.
Oh, I doubt that. Will you have sex with a woman if she's having her period? Go ahead.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Did you reveal this in the book?
I thought he was looking at Kate when he said that.
Kate, what about you? Would you have sex with a woman when she's having her period?
She's done
I
that.
got to give that one some thought, Howard.
Donald, seriously, you would not, right? Am I correct?
Well, I've been there. I have been there, Howard.
You have been
As
there.
we all
But you don't like it?
Well, sometimes you get there by mistake. You say,
I see,
"What's
right.
going
You
on?"
don't even know what's going on. You think you've been shot. It is like
Say,
Vietnam.
"Geez,
Let me read what you wrote about me in the book.
Okay.
I spoke to Howard Stern about the premiere of his movie. I speak to Howard Stern about the premiere of his movie. Howard is an amazing guy. Beautiful.
Which is true.
Much different in person than on the air. On the air, he is wild and crazy, but totally brilliant. He talks for hours, practically without notes, about subjects as varied as you can get, but mostly about sex.
Like today.
His ratings are through the roof. He is by far the #1 show in New York. He has become a true phenomenon with the industry itself. His movie Private Parts has just come out, and for a couple of weeks, it's the #1 movie in the country. He likes to call himself the king of all media, and he is not wrong. Thank you, by the way, for saying those nice things. Donald, you say in the book people should play golf because that will help them make business deals?
I've really made a lot of money playing golf, and I've gotten to know people better in a golf course than you could ever get, like sitting over a lunch or talking.
Are you good at this game?
Pretty good.
You are?
Pretty good.
He's really good.
He is? Mm-hmm. Well, what do you know? You know him that well?
No, I hear his scores. You know,
I
the
bet the
next
two of
day
you
they
have
say
made
he
love.
shot a.
I bet the two of you have made love.
Oh, Howard.
Please, I don't
Rein
believe
in that
it.
imagination.
I don't believe it. And you're blushing.
No, I'm not.
No, Donald, not you. Listen to me.
I'm the one that's blushing, actually.
In fact, you don't know this. While Donald Trump was writing the book,
Yes.
Kate was his caddy also. She actually caddied for him in the golf club. Took her into the woods when he was horny. Yes, that's his fourth book.
We followed the bad shots into the woods and never came out.
So she was the 19th hole. Just kidding, of course. Just kidding. Bad joke. Okay.
She's into the movement. She's into the women's movement. I'm not sure if she's going to like this, right?
I'm okay.
No, she's fine.
You know what, Howard?
She's
I
a heavy
love you.
woman's movement
Every
person. After today, she's going to even feel strong.
That's right.
Believe me, I'm
Howard, every
heavily
morning.
into the women's movement.
I love the interview with Mark Wahlberg.
Yes, thank
was
you.
very fun.
Yeah, he was good. He was a lot of fun. Now
like
listen.
his voice.
Listen to me. What was I just talking about? Golf, and I was
Yes.
talking about.
You made a bad joke about the 19th hole.
Yes, okay, but forget about golf. What was I talking about?
You know what
before
I'd
that?
like to do? I'd like to invite you on November 15th. People said it's called a freedom party. Give
Yes.
me liberty or give me death.
Yeah, you're having a party.
Did you ever hear of give me liberty or give me death?
I heard of that. Yes.
Okay, well, this is what they're calling this party. It's absolutely untrue. It's just
Because you are free now.
Well, that's what they're saying.
Right.
That's what they're saying I'm giving the party for. It's really not.
So it's a party with what?
It's
Supermodels?
just gonna be good,
November
yeah.
15th?
Most beautiful people in the world will be at this
Orgy City? Who's going to go to that party? Like beautiful women?
I can't tell you the names, but
Who shows up? Al Pacino?
The most beautiful people in the world.
Imagine I could be going to that.
I could be. I'm going to go.
Donald, what's the point of me going to that if I'm married?
There is no point.
There is no point.
No, there's no point.
You know, Tommy Mottola invited me to his
Tommy
Halloween
Mottola
party.
will be there, by the way.
Will he?
Yeah.
He invited me to his Halloween party. He's recently broken up with Mariah Carey. He's free. He threw a big Halloween party. He told me, I imagine there must be beautiful women invited to
I
that
was
party.
at that party.
You were?
Yes.
Were there beautiful women there?
Really beautiful women.
And did you pick up chicks there?
I wouldn't do a thing like that, but you know, you had really beautiful.
Did you get a few phone numbers?
Kate Moss, you had this one, that one, Naomi Campbell. You had the most beautiful women at that party.
Why do people think it's egotistical of you to say that you could have gotten Lady Di? You could have gotten her, right? You could have nailed her.
I
Yeah, but
think
would
I
you have
could
sent her to the doctor?
Of course.
I don't know. Maybe
What do
that
you
one.
think?
That would have been a tough
He
one.
wouldn't ask her to
Hey,
go.
Lady Di, would you go to the doctor?
Go back.
I don't think he would have asked
Go
her.
back over to my Lexington Avenue doctor. We want to give you a little checkup.
Lady Di, you would have gone out with her. Would have been. Not that she was that attractive.
She was actually really beautiful.
You think so?
Yeah, I
More
knew her.
beautiful than supermodels?
I thought she was supermodel beautiful. I'm telling you.
Really?
I said this the other day. I said Lady Di had supermodel beauty.
Really?
She had times, you know, it was interesting, Robin. She had times when she didn't look great, and she had times when and she looked better than anybody in the world.
Yeah.
But
Especially
she
after she
she
split
had
from Prince.
supermodel.
I'm shocked to hear you say this.
telling you.
I can't believe it.
She had the height. She had this. She had magnificent skin. She really had. She was a great beauty.
And
She
did you
wrote
meet
me a
her?
letter.
Oh, she wrote you a letter.
She wrote
Go ahead.
me a letter about a couple of months before she died, thanking me because I did her a favor for something.
What'd you do?
Like a schmuck, I went back to work. I didn't. I just.
What was
I
the
just
favor that you
never-
did for her?
I just did her a favor. She asked me to do something. I did it, and she wrote me a really nice letter.
What was the favor?
I can't tell you.
Yes, you
It's so
can.
Personal.
Please,
you know?
please.
It's just
What was
such
it?
a personal thing.
She had yeast infection?
But I did something.
And you sent her to your doctor?
I sent her to another good.
Come on, tell me what you did.
But I
Please.
did something, and then I sent her some flowers.
What did you do for her?
I can't tell.
Yes, you can. Come on,
But
you've
she
never held
really-
back.
But she really thanked me for the flowers more than.
What do
the
you
fact-
think you did for her?
I have no clue.
Ever pleasure yourself to her?
No.
Never.
No.
Do you still pleasure yourself, or you don't even have to? You have a woman to take care of that all the time.
Well, you like to do the second. I mean,
you still once in a while will.
How do I answer this, Robin? Help me, Robin. How do we answer this question? That's a little on the personal side. You know,
I bet you still
even
do.
by Howard
Every
standards,
guy
right?
enjoys it.
No, that's
Kate, do
I
you
mean,
think
everyone
Donald
does.
still pleasures himself?
Oh, I'm going to stay away from that one. I have no idea.
Obviously, you didn't get to know him that well, did you?
I've never seen you blushing like this. Kate.
Really?
Maybe I should have worn makeup.
She is hot. Can I feel your ass? I don't mean you, I mean Donald. Donald, let me feel your ass, please. Check you for your wallet. I'm trying to figure out what favor you did for Lady Di. Like, what could you?
Any number
What
of
could you
things.
possibly have done? Maybe
Just a favor, just a favor. And I then sent her some flowers, and she wrote me the most beautiful
Why
letter.
can't you tell me what the
In
favor
fact, I'll
was?
even send you a copy of this letter. She wrote me the most beautiful, warm letter.
Yeah.
And instead of following up on that like a schmuck, Robin, I didn't.
Wow. She probably wanted it. You're better. You're 10 times better looking than Dodi El Fayed.
I mean, you never know what
There was
happens.
an opening.
Yeah.
So,
And he was a screw-up.
There could have been an opening.
Yeah.
Wasn't Dodi El Fayed a bit of a screw up?
Well, he wasn't
totally.
good for her, as it turned out.
No, it wasn't.
This was not a good situation.
You never would have driven her into the side of a tunnel, would you?
Now, Henri
No.
Paul would have never driven Donald Trump.
No.
That's for sure.
We
That's
wouldn't
right.
have gone 127 miles an hour. I mean, can you
way.
imagine that?
You would have stopped
Down
and
a
posed
hill.
for the pictures,
This
right?
is- by the way, this is down a hill.
Yeah, right.
I guarantee the roof of the car had to hit the top of the tunnel because you're going down a steep. I know that tunnel in Paris.
Yes.
You know, it's got like a 30-mile limit.
Yeah.
And the speedometer was stuck at 121. Now, I don't know if that means it was going 121. But if you're going 121, you never hit the land. You just hit the side of, the ceiling.
Even
That
if you're
was-
straight, you wouldn't be
No,
able to.
even if you're straight. If Mario Andretti was driving
he
that
couldn't
car,
go through that.
He couldn't have made it.
Not in a tunnel.
They gave Mario Andretti a 50-50 shot of getting through that tunnel.
It is absolutely insane to go that fast.
Yeah.
Well, he was probably had a lot of pressure. Faster, faster, faster. The guy had no clue where he was. So he said, "You want to go fast? I'll go fast."
So is it fair to say that with the paparazzi, just stand there and pose? What's the difference? So let them take a picture. What do you got to go 121 miles an hour
Number
for?
one, you have the blackened windows anyway.
Right.
They
What
have
are
a
they
car
gonna-
with the black windows, so you're not going to see in. I mean, generally, you know what these
Yeah.
guys do when they put the camera right up to the window, you can actually see it. But they're not going to come in. But if you look at this tunnel, and I really know that tunnel well, I've been through that tunnel many times. You can't go more than like 30, 40 miles an hour. If you're going 40 miles an hour through that tunnel, you're going fast. These people had to be going 120 some.
It's insane. You say in your book you do a lot of people a lot of favors, and it really pisses you off when they're not nice back to you. When you're at a low point, they could at least be nice to you. You say one woman, you got her husband, I guess she was some financial person, you got her husband admitted into a special Catholic like hospice or something, and had nuns taking care of him 24 hours before he died.
And he couldn't get in. It's harder here than getting into the Wharton School of Finance. I mean, you can't get into this hospital, and I got him in through the Catholic Church, through the Cardinal, the Catholic Church.
You pulled a lot of strings.
And bottom line, and he died. He was taken care of magnificently, but when he passed away, and he was expected to pass away, but he passed away beautifully.
And how did this woman screw you after?
Well, she then, like a year later, it was time to maybe she could have helped me on something, and it was like
with a loan or something.
Forget. Well, something happened, and she could have very simply helped, and she didn't. And I said, "You son of a bitch! I don't believe it."
Right.
I said, "I don't believe it." And
Wow.
it was almost, she lost 30 pounds. She's looking around. The husband, forget about him. He's
Right.
gone.
Yeah.
She lost 30 pounds. She's now looking for the new boyfriend.
Right.
The whole thing. She
Right.
still looks like hell, but she.
Right. Go ahead.
She thought she was hot stuff.
Right.
So now it was my turn. I called. I said, "Listen, would you do me a favor? Ba ba ba."
What was the favor
I'm
you
not
needed?
saying it-
What was the favor?
It was just a
some
financial
kind of
thing. It was a
financial
financial
favor,
thing.
yeah.
And then she treated you worse than your ex-wife.
No, she treated me
like
as
dirt.
though- worse than if I said no.
And did you say to her, "Hey, I helped your husband when he was dying there"?
You know what? I didn't want to do it, but
You did.
ultimately I did.
You did.
Yeah,
and
I
what did she say? "Hey, I don't care."
Well, she was into a new boyfriend. The husband didn't mean credit.
Wow.
The husband.
Wow. Business is rough, isn't it?
The husband was, by that point, a thing of the past.
Even a memory.
This is called the cool life.
When is the last time you've had sex? When is the last time you had sex with a woman? Seriously.
Let me see.
Go ahead. Did you have sex last night? Did you have sex last night? Did you have sex last night?
Howard, I'd never say a thing like that.
Yes, you would.
No.
Of course you would.
But I'll tell you what I did do. I went to a fashion show last night.
Oh, yeah. Now, you say in your book.
Marc Jacobs.
You say the thing that screwed you up in business back then was you didn't pay attention because you were busy living the jet set life. You'd go off to Paris to these fashion shows.
No, I do.
Is this happening again?
Now in New York.
Right.
Okay.
You said instead of going to Paris.
I'd go to Paris. I'd go to Italy.
Oh, you were all over.
The same models come to New York, so what do I need to go to Paris?
Yeah, why go to them when they can come to you?
And but it's embarrassing. You're sitting there, and everyone else is taking down these dress designs, right? And the dress and the top, and I'm really not looking at the dress.
So I interrupted you. Last night you said you went to a fashion show.
Marc Jacobs had a great fashion show over at the Armory.
Well, he's the schmata maker. He makes what, the jackets?
He makes lots of clothing.
Yeah, right.
It was beautiful. The show was fantastic and all. But so I did that, and then I went home.
That's right. That's it. And with who?
That I can't say.
Wow, you got laid last night.
I can't say
Son of a bitch. What a party you're having.
No, I'm having a good time.
What's the movie? Take him on the private jet?
The book is better than The Art of the Deal. I did the.
Was it a white chick?
Oh, dear.
Isn't that a terrible thing, Robin? How do you let? Sometimes because I do listen to this.
Ever nail Liza?
No, but you know what I don't understand? Because I love Robin. I don't understand how Robin, and I'll bet you get a lot of heat from the black community. Well,
I don't listen.
But
I'm
but you must get a lot of heat. And sometimes I say, why doesn't Robin ever back the black community?
Well, she does.
I do. I'm
all the time.
Pretty much. The black community. What? He asked a stupid question. So
it is
what?
a stupid question.
What did you have last night? Give me the menu. Have you had a black woman in bed ever?
Well, it depends on what your definition of black is.
Interesting. See, I like this discussion.
Now, what is your definition of black, Donald?
His bed is a rainbow. Yeah, like a rainbow.
This was the Rainbow Coalition.
Yeah. So,
as Reverend Jesse would say.
What is the perfect date? When you take a woman out, what is the perfect date?
Well, I'd say the perfect date is you meet at 7 for drinks.
7:30, you're in bed.
You promise to take her out to dinner, but you never get there.
Right, beautiful.
That's not covered in the book.
Look at your co-writer. He's like,
saying, what's going on? See, she's seeing now a side of me that she didn't know too well.
At least he's being honest.
No,
that's what I.
And then you're back in the boardroom by 8.
No, you start. That's right. And the amazing thing is, then you can have a second date about 8:30.
You've got to admit, you're a bright guy. A lot of these models have to bore you to death after you orgasm.
You know what? Can I tell you what?
Yeah.
There's some of these girls, when they make $4 or $5 million a year, it's not just because of their looks or beauty.
Really? You think they're
bright? It has
bright?
a lot to do with their looks. Okay.
Yeah, right.
I mean, a hell of a lot.
Right.
A lot of these girls are very smart.
What is your favorite condom, please? Tell the audience.
I don't know the name of it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know the name.
Blackjack?
But I'm using them. I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
You are using them. Wow, what a life! What a life! I am fascinated by this book.
I hope they work. What happens if they don't work? We're in trouble.
You are, white man.
Yeah, not we.
What do you mean, we, white man? Wait a second. Listen, Donald Trump, the art of the comeback.
Yeah.
He will take you to his lowest point all the way back to the rise. And for those of you who want to make it in business, you'll learn something here. That no matter how far down you go, no matter how low, no matter how much the press kicks you, you can make a comeback too. Is that the message of the book, Donald Trump?
That is the message. But I think it's more than that. It's how really to make it in business. And also, there's a lot of personal stuff.
Yes. The personal stuff rules.
But everyone talks about the personal stuff.
Write a book all about dating next.
Every interview, turn off the music.
That music's beautiful.
Every interview I've done, I have like a couple of chapters on the marriage and the this and the that.
Yes.
And every interview I've done, not one person has asked me about Trump Tower, 40 Wall Street, the big deals, the project. They all want to get back to the same thing. What you make your living at. Sex.
Everything is sex.
Now, Donald, did you find that all of these friends stayed with you through the bad times?
I was the only one.
Oh,
no, Howard stayed.
Yeah.
I'm asking Donald a question. Will you be quiet?
I want money.
One of the worst things.
Yeah, go ahead.
I get married. Howard's at the wedding, along with OJ. We had a cast of characters. I'll tell you what. You could write about how about
your wedding alone.
No. You could do a whole book or many books on my wedding. OJ, you were sitting right next to him.
Oh yeah. Oh please. He was a
nice guy. guy.
I've talked many
this
times.
This was before the killing.
Yeah, this is before the killing. In fact, though, we're thinking of throwing another wedding and having him after the killing.
Well,
we want to see if he's different.
There will be another wedding.
What is a good investment right now?
Save the invitations.
I never got to find out, because he's talking about all these friends. I want to know if he has the same friends from before the fall and after the fall.
Well, okay. It really is a great question, and it's covered a lot in the book in terms of that. I had great loyalty from most people.
Is that right?
But there were some people that showed disloyalty. God bless you, Kate.
Excuse me.
And you got to screw them to the wall.
And my attitude is screw them to the wall. Now, there was one person who I made. I don't want to take credit, but I made this person.
Right.
I took the person out of government.
Who is it?
It's just
Tell the truth. Come on.
In this case, it's a woman. I took the
Christy
person
Todd Whitman?
out of government.
Who is it? Who is it?
It doesn't matter.
Tell me.
Actually, I think it's covered. It is covered in the book. But
Yes.
I don't know if the name is covered, but it doesn't make any difference.
Who is
I
it?
took the person out of government.
Name this
I
person.
may give it to you in the second
All right,
show.
good. Go ahead.
I may give it to you.
You have to come back and tell me.
All of a sudden, the person's living this beautiful life, has a beautiful house, blah, blah, blah. This person could have done something for me when I was in my deepest moments.
Hillary Clinton.
She thought that I wasn't going to make it back. A lot of people thought I wasn't going to be able to come. They figured I'd have to go bankrupt. I'd have to be, and like so many of my friends, they're gonzo, you'll never hear from them again.
Right.
And, it's pretty sad.
Yes.
My business now is much bigger than it ever was, much stronger, much richer, much everything. It's sort of, it is amazing. That's why Random House is to a book. So this person didn't lift a finger.
Bess Meyerson.
Now I'm supposed to be doing something. For that person. Not even a chance.
Right. And let me tell you something. That's the way you succeed in business.
Absolutely.
That's what I do to my enemies. I screw them to the wall. Don't F with me.
And people say, Donald, that's terrible.
Oh, everybody's like that. Who would help somebody who
screws you?
Right.
And it wasn't even a question of screwing. Didn't do something.
Here's a woman.
A covert.
There's a woman on our phone who says she asked you out on a date.
Oh.
Yes, Jill. Oh, you want to ask Donald out on a date?
Yes, I would love to.
Quickly, how big are your breasts? I'll cut right to the chase. Guy gets a lot of hot chicks. How big are they?
34C.
C.
Not bad.
Not bad, right?
Not, it could be better. But
are you a supermodel?
How old?
Am I a supermodel? No, I'm not.
How old are you?
How old am I?
Yes.
I'm 44.
Get out of here.
Next. What
are you, crazy? Man dates 19-year-old. 44. Man, wrong answer. Wouldn't that be great if you met your next wife at the book signing? Why not? It could happen. Why not?
I'm ready.
That'd be a great story.
Marriage is great.
Here's the final question of the morning.
Look at you. Look how happy you are.
I'm thrilled.
You would do it again, Donald?
Oh, sure he would.
I would. I like the institution of marriage.
Yeah?
I really do. I mean, if you get it right. I haven't gotten it right.
And you're never going to get it right. Trust me.
He's going to try again.
There's no such thing as getting it right. When you can have the variety you can have, I mean, there's just no way. It's a tough deal.
One more question.
I had one last question.
One more question.
Go ahead.
How tough is the prenup going to be for the third one?
Very tough. No, it's going to be very tough.
Of course.
I mean, what's that one going to say?
It's going to be extraordinary.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
They're going to owe him $50 million when they break up. It'll be an Encyclopedia Britannicus. Donald Trump, The Art of the Comeback. You're always a great guest. And I also want to thank Kate Boner for coming by. Some say Bonner. I believe it's Boner.
You say Boner, I say
That's right. I want to thank Kate Boner, who is very attractive. Very, very attractive. And also very bright.
Not much of a writer, but.
And thanks for coming in here. It's always great to have you here. And good luck with the book, The Art of the Comeback. Check it out. It's a really good book. We'll be back right after these words.
Donald, we had the best review on your interview so far. My general manager's screaming because it went so long without a commercial break.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yes, and I said, well, it was because it was so good. And he said, yes, but, he's fuming.
That's why you're doing what you do, because you know what you're doing. Have a good time, Rob. I saw Milk Crate at a peak. Did he freak off? He was 2 knuckles deep in Barack's husband. No more drop box. The drop boxes are just so bad. No more drop box. Dickinson, Hologic, and Cephahide. They sacrifice every day for the furniture and future. That was about a guy named, a rhino named Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney, a real beauty. Had to give the American people their voice back by building something called Truth Essential. He voted against Kate's law, and he voted for Obama amnesty.
You understand? Nice to have a building. Speaking of a guy who has a building, Donald Trump is on the phone. He's promoting the Shannon Briggs fight.
Oh, really?
Well, they're playing at the Taj, the Trump Taj Mahal.
I didn't know Shannon had another fight.
Yeah, I like Shannon.
I guess Donald's on the phone.
Didn't Shannon lose his last fight?
Yes.
He's a good guy.
He fought Lennox Lewis, remember?
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Hey, Donald.
Hello, Howard.
How are you?
See what I do? I promote fights. I'm like you.
Yeah, you're into everything.
Promoting.
Constantly promoting.
Yeah, Donald Trump has the best life. Hey, let me ask you a question.
That was, you know, that story I read yesterday.
What was it?
Where it was the Miss Universe, and I forget who was it.
Stephanie Seymour.
Yes, Stephanie Seymour in a see-through dress.
Yeah, Donald probably liked that.
Well, you know, I thought it was fantastic. CBS wasn't so enamored. You know, it was on prime time.
Yeah, let me explain to people. Stephanie Seymour, the model, was one of the judges at the Miss Universe contest, except she wore a see-through outfit. So CBS freaked out because they got to put it on TV.
Right, and she had, it was obvious she had no underwear on.
Right.
It was really very see-through. She's a great, I mean, she's fantastic, but she...
You had sex with her, right?
Why are you wearing anything? Why just not, you know, just walk on?
Yeah, why don't you just come in naked?
Why bother, right?
Yeah, we can put bars across you. You've had sex with Stephanie Seymour. What's that like?
No, I haven't.
I don't believe that for a minute.
But she's terrific, I'll tell you. She was a great judge. And
See, as soon as he says she's terrific, I know he banged her.
He had sex with her?
Yeah, of course.
That's a code, huh?
He has great sex.
Robin.
You know, Marlon Maples was great and everything, but I knew Donald would get divorced because he has too many women throwing themselves at him.
You know what?
She was really a good person. You know, in all fairness, we had a great time.
But Donald tried to repay her for
No,
her
I'm trying to be nice, Robin.
No, I'm telling the truth now. You thought it was wonderful of her to stick by you in a tough time.
Right.
That's true.
And you were trying to reward her.
Right. She did stick by me. You know, in the early 90s, I did have a tough time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the greatest time of my life. And she was there, so, you know.
So, hey, you did her a favor. You married her and you paid her a couple of bucks.
Wait a minute, Donald. How can you only give your wife $1 million?
Hey, why not?
Well, I didn't want to be like other people that give too much, you know.
Did you want, you know what? She's a young girl, and you want to keep her motivated in life.
I wanted to do something.
Right, you don't want her to get lazy and fat. You want her to, you know, to listen, $1 million is nice.
Oh, please.
Any more than that, and then she would...
used to a lot more.
Well.
But, Robin, you don't think that was generous? Well, it's really not $1 million. It's other things. I mean, it's, you know.
Well, you know, you have to make sure little Tiffany has a roof over her head.
She's
going to be fine. For $1 million, she'll do just fine.
She'll be beautifully taken care of.
Right. Yeah.
Better be.
Do you have to visit the kid and everything?
No, I have all the rights and everything else, all visitation.
Oh, so you do visit or you don't?
And I get along great with Marla.
He loves his children.
Oh, he does.
I'm actually surprising to most people, but I'm really a good father.
I believe it.
Great kids and everything.
I wish you were my father. I remember in the 90s, Donald was down to like his last $4.5 billion.
That's what he was on an allowance of about, you know, $100 million a year.
Hey, let me ask you a question about money. So when you were, you know, when you were hurting, right, in the 90s?
Right.
Because the real estate market fell apart and everything?
Right.
I mean, you were really, you know...
I was in deep trouble.
Right. Are you now back to the point where you're richer than you ever were, or are you
breaking even?
Like, are you worth more than Mel, who, you know, owns our company?
Well, what happened is, you know, in the 80s I was doing great, and then in the early 90s the world was really collapsing.
When you say you were doing great in the 80s, were you worth, what, $1 billion?
He was on the list, and
Well, I was on the list, and I was very high on the list, and now I'm much higher on the list, so...
Really?
Yeah, so it worked out well, but, I mean...
What are you worth now? Are you worth $2 billion?
Well, I guess they say much more than that. I have no idea what I'm worth, but...
I don't believe that.
Huh?
I don't believe that.
You don't believe who?
I don't believe that you don't know what you're worth.
Well, I have a fairly good idea.
I think it's like taking your temperature. You do it every half hour. Yeah, to the penny.
You know, with buildings, I mean, what's Trump Tower? With buildings, you never really know. You know, somebody comes along. Now, in this market, they'll pay more than it's worth. In other markets, they'll pay less than
He's got a beautiful building, Donald. International Trump.
Selling these apartments for like $10 million or something.
Right. Well, don't forget, though, he doesn't get the money for that. Like I was just reading the paper that our boss bought an apartment in your building for $11 million.
Correct.
Now, but he bought that from a guy who bought it from you for $6 million.
That's correct. I sold the apartment a couple of years ago to somebody else. And, you know, the building is just a winner, and it's gone up unbelievably in value. But I sold that apartment 2 years ago to somebody else for substantially less.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm talking
so
about
I don't know if I feel stupid, but...
No, I mean, at the time, that's what the market would bear.
No, at the time, I thought I got a good price. I thought it was a genius, you know?
But wait a minute. Even that apartment you were, like, tagging for yourself in one of your new buildings.
Right.
The price tag was like $10 million.
Yeah, I sold that for a lot of money. I got $13 million for that apartment.
Yeah, all right.
And, you know, that's been a great building. That's Trump International Hotel and Tower.
It's a beautiful building.
Gorgeous.
And it's been a tremendous success. And, you know, it's been great. And, you know, to have Mel there is really an honor because he's incredible. He's also, as you know, CBS took the space in the General Motors building, which I own.
Wow.
And they're going to be doing an incredible studio there. I guess they're going to start off with a morning show, and maybe it evolves into much more than even that.
Yeah, but I can't get a new studio.
Well, you can have it. You take a piece in the General Motors bill.
They won't let me do it.
Come on, we'll talk to
We're
Mel.
in prison here.
Yeah, you talk to him. He won't talk to me.
I think we should talk to Mel about that. We have to have you in a good location.
So now you're worth, let's say, more, you could even be more than $2 billion.
Yeah, I think much more.
Right.
I'm worth now much more than that.
Where do you live now? Do you live in one of your buildings?
Who knows what I'm worth, Howard?
Well,
I live in one of my buildings.
You do?
I live in Trump Tower.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, how many square feet do you have in there?
Too many.
Too many square feet.
I sit here all by myself in this huge apartment. I say, what am I doing?
And how often do you, like, have chicks up there? Like, do you have one steady chick right now?
You don't want to know.
All right, let me understand your life. Do you have one steady girlfriend?
Well, lately I have had one girlfriend.
And which model is this?
Melania Knaus.
Oh.
It's hard to believe you guess she was a model.
No, I know you love beautiful women. Who doesn't?
I love beautiful women. I love women.
Right.
I love beautiful women.
Right. And this Claudia Knaus?
Melania.
Whatever.
Melania Knaus.
From Austria.
What do you call her, Melania?
Melania.
Melania.
From Austria.
You can't even pronounce these names, Doc.
I know. It's that.
You get a normal... And what happens? Does she live with you, or does she...
Well, not at this point, to be honest. I mean,
You're not going to live with anybody.
Sort of, I'm just finishing off with the Marla thing, in all fairness. So,
right.
Not at this point. It's a little bit soon, but she's terrific.
He
She's a
has
great
so
girl.
many buildings, Howard. He puts them up in other buildings.
Do you have to give this broad a building?
No, I don't. They do very well. I like somebody that can go out and really do well.
Right.
I have a friend. He's got more apartments than anybody I've ever seen for, women. I mean, the guy rents half of my units.
Yeah.
I think he's my largest customer. He rents half of my units, so he's got a different woman in each unit.
Well, it's convenient. You just
I
have
don't
to go
think
to one
any of them
building.
know it either. It's
Right.
sort of interesting.
That's beautiful.
But anyway, every time he sees me, he says, I'm your biggest customer. I have 18 of your apartments. But
Those broads.
one of those crazy deals.
Wow, that's lucky. Man, that's some kind of life. So you're with one model now.
How long has this been going on?
I've been with her about 8 months.
Oh, long time.
Nice. I have to take a look at her. How old is she?
She's incredible. She's on the cover of Ocean Drive, I guess, last month.
How old is she?
She's 28. So
28. That's a little over the hill, isn't it?
I know, it's a little
about
old.
her age.
You're really maturing.
No, I'm telling you, she's probably 18. She's
I'm so proud of myself, though, Robin, because they are getting older as I grow. I mean, for a while, I had the hard time cracking the low 20s. Just had a hard time. Now they're getting older.
I told you, I saw him one night. I thought he was with a schoolgirl.
A 28-year-old is almost a geezer. God, 28. I can't believe it. All right, now tell me about this fight. Shannon Briggs will fight Francois Botha.
Right.
Oh,
on
we've heard
August.
that name before, too.
Yeah, on August 7th. Now, isn't Francois a white guy?
He is.
A South African. He was the last
It's
guy.
a white guy against a black guy, which very sadly draws like crazy.
Right.
Yeah, but this is
You can't understand that, Howard.
He understands it very well. He created it. But
Does Francois Botha stand a chance against Shannon Briggs?
I think probably. Both are supposed to be a very good fighter. He's only lost, I think he's like 30-2.
he lost to Mike Tyson last, right?
No, that wasn't him. That was another white guy.
Oh,
right?
that was another white guy.
Can we get?
They all look the same.
Why don't we get two white guys to fight Shannon
I don't
Briggs?
know. Why not? But
Has that
Shannon's
ever been
a
done?
good fighter, and
Yeah.
a very good fighter, and both is a very, very good fighter, and he's like the European champion or close. And they're going to be fighting on the 7th, on August 7th.
I see.
August 7th.
At the Taj Mahal,
At
the
the
Trump
Taj
Taj Mahal.
So it'll be great.
And it'll be on pay-per-view as well.
Right.
Or you could see it live by calling Ticketmaster at 800-736-1420.
I love the fights, Howard.
Yeah, it's fun.
I always love it. It's all, in a world that you and I live in. I know, we have to remember that.
Right. All right, you say in a world that's full of BS.
Right.
I had to hit the button on you. You go ahead, finish that thought.
We really, I just love the ring. I've always loved the fights because there's none of that. I mean, it's just two guys in the ring slugging it out.
Well, in a way, you had to fight your way through the real estate world, so maybe you relate to these fighters.
Well, that was a tough fight. And,
That's right.
In the early 90s, the world was really in not such great shape, and it wasn't in great shape for me, but it came out very good, and I'm happy about it.
Yeah, are you nude right now?
No. In fact, I'm in the office.
Oh.
You know he only sleeps 2-3 hours a night. and
Which
he's
is pretty
very early.
pathetic when you get right down to it.
What did you do last night for fun?
I actually went to the Fashion Award show.
Ah, listen to him.
Pick up more models.
And
Working on his portfolio.
Yeah.
they did a nice job last night.
The
but it was,
Fashion Awards.
The Fashion Award show in Lexington. It was at 22nd in Lexington in the Armory.
Did you meet more models?
Well, I'll tell you what, there are a lot of models there. I didn't go for that reason, of course.
You told me you were lining up the next Mrs. Trump.
I guess that process has to begin.
You will
You're
never.
never going to get
Yeah,
married.
you would never marry again, would you?
Yeah, I would. Sadly, it is a great institution if you get it right.
Right.
Maybe perhaps not sadly, but it's a great institution if you get it right. And, one of these days I'm going to get it right.
What does he mean? He doesn't know that.
He's a smart guy. He's saying that because then it keeps chicks interested. Because they think they're going to marry him.
I see.
Now, I know what you're up to.
It's wink, wink.
Well, you understand, Howard. I mean, marriage correctly done is a wonderful
It's a beautiful thing.
And there's nothing better, but, unfortunately, it doesn't usually work out that way.
Yeah, it's hard to fall in love with those supermodels. You don't know which one is good.
But, Donald, do you worry because you have a daughter who's a model?
I do, and I have a deal with her. She's just 17, and she's doing great, Ivanka, and she made me promise or swear to her that I would never date a girl younger than her. So... As she grows, Howard, as she grows older, the field is getting very limited severely,
Yeah, I mean, the nerve of her. Now you can't go out with 16-year-olds. But, let me tell you something. Donald will not get married again. This is my guess.
I don't blame him.
In fact, Liberace will find the right woman before Donald does. I'm telling you.
Howard was at my wedding, Robin.
I know.
And he made a statement that was a disaster. I don't even know if you know this, Howard, but I came up to the room, and there was huge press. I don't think I've ever seen so much press.
That's true.
Thousands and thousands of reporters.
Yes.
And with all the celebrities, everybody, including O.J. Simpson, who I guess you had a picture with him there and put it in the back of your book or something.
Thanks to you, yes.
That was compliments of Donald. I didn't ask for 10%. I just sent him the picture.
You were very generous.
They all said, we need O.J.'s permission. I said, don't worry about it. O.J.'s got bigger problems. You didn't bother with that permission.
No, I don't think so.
He got permission from Trump.
That's it.
But he put it on the back of his book. But everybody's walking in, hundreds of celebrities, and I get back, and, rather than doing what you're supposed to be doing, I turned on the television to see how the press is covering my wedding, right? This is not a good sign for a long-term marriage. I could see that. I knew I was in trouble right then.
Watching TV.
So Marla and I are watching, and Howard made the most incredible statement. You remember, Howard?
Yes, I do.
First of all, he said there wasn't a dry eye in the house. The next thing he said was, I give the marriage 4 months. Okay, so with all the celebrities walking in, talking to the press, yes, it's a beautiful couple, they're wonderful, they're going to be happy forever, all of that stuff was cut.
Right.
Howard they put on, and he starts doing a number, and you were wrong, Howard, the marriage lasted much longer.
3 years. I was off by a few months.
Yeah.
Well, listen, congratulations on all your success, on all your models. Believe me, every man would like to be you. And we'll all watch the Shannon Briggs fight with Francois Botha.
Francois Botha.
Whatever his name is. He's a white guy.
You both, and you're great. And I listen all the time, and you know that.
Thanks, Donald.
And take care of yourself.
Take care.
So long, Robin.
Bye-bye.
He doesn't need good luck because he's already got it. Luck is shining on him. Yeah, not me, him.
God is smiling on him.
Really is.
So you know what, Donald? I'm going to give you a good life.
His penis is so satisfied.
Yeah, baby. It's like a compass. It's just constantly pointing.
Right. Like every guy's, except his actually he had to go somewhere.
North is the next model.
Right. Well, anyway, that was exciting. If you need tickets to the fight, 800-736-1420. They can hook you up.
This is the very definition of totalitarianism. We've endorsed Dr. Oz. We've endorsed JP, right? J.D. Mandel, and he's doing great. I've had more investigations than Jesse James, Billy the Kid. Some of the world's greatest cricket players, from Sachin Tendulkar to Virat Kohli. As the great religious teacher Swami Vivekananda once said. I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges of the investigation, the beginnings of that investigation. The biggest lie ever foisted upon the American people. He was awarded the Bronze Star and the Combat Infantryman Badge for his service.
You understand? By the way, President Donald Trump is on the phone.
Oh, wow.
My theory is that Donald is really not running for president.
You think he's just promoting a book?
Yeah, he doesn't need the air commission. Donald.
Hi, Howard.
How are you?
But I am having a good time.
Mr. President.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Am I allowed to date your wife? I mean, am I allowed to call her and take her out to dinner and wine her and dine her?
You're not talking about romantically. You're just trying to help her get over her butt.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well, I was more surprised than even Howard by this one, I have to tell you.
Yeah, well, you can goof on me because I goofed on your marriage.
You did. Howard, hey, Robin, Howard gave me a very hard time because he came to my wedding and there were like, literally, Howard, as much paparazzi as you've ever seen, would you say?
Yes, that is true.
And Howard stood on the stairs of the Plaza Hotel. They said, Howard, what do you think? First he started, there wasn't a wet eye in the house.
Right.
He made that statement, which was an all-time classic.
Right.
And then he said, I give the marriage 3 months at best.
Yeah. 3. And it did last 6.
So when I got back to the room, I put it on, and this is what my wife had heard. This is the first words from television. Was Howard on television?
I got to tell you something. You are so smart. I've been looking at pictures of your last wife, Marla Maples.
Right.
She fell apart. You got rid of her just at the right time.
Just in time.
You got out just in time, my friend.
Well, let's say I'm very happy.
Exactly.
You know, Donald's been known to have the greatest timing.
Right. Well, listen, I have
Without
certainly,
timing, we're nothing, Howard.
I certainly have no right as to whether or not you could date my wife. But if you date Alison, I'm going to date Ivanka.
Oh. Okay.
All right. So that's right. That is his
in that
daughter.
case, you have to tell Alison I won't be calling.
What are you saying, Donald?
What are you saying, Donald? I'm not good enough?
No, I think you'd be perfect. You're just what I'm looking for in a son-in-law. You'd be the perfect son-in-law.
Yeah, I'm really great.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm a real treat. No, but listen, you have some beautiful girlfriend now. Holy mackerel. I mean, and then I was reading about
I can't
her.
believe he stopped. You know, he was on a little tear around town there.
He hasn't stopped.
Well, you know, after the show is over, you should call me because you and I will travel around during the late hours of the night.
Really?
You know what?
Which presidential candidates aren't supposed to be doing.
Yeah, but especially with someone like me.
But he always used to invite you to Mar-a-Lago for that weekend he has down there, and you'd never go.
And now I get no invites.
Well, no, you're always invited. And really, you know, it's sort of interesting. It's a very funny thing. A very, very rich friend of mine is just, and this is not the case with you, he's not able to get women.
Right.
And for some reason, they always call me because they want to travel with me. And these are guys...
Why does everyone assume that I can get women?
Well, I think you probably can easily. I think you can. But I have so many friends, when they call me, they want to hang up because they think... And it's sort of an amazing phenomenon how they eat people for lunch and for dinner. They're the toughest, meanest, most miserable, most brilliant people. But if they meet a woman at 7:30 in the evening, they freeze. They get lockjaw.
Right. They can't figure out how to put that deal together.
No, that deal they can't do.
It's amazing. It is
You have
amazing.
no idea how often, but it happens all the time.
So listen. Let me talk to you about this president thing for a second. Now, this has gained some steam. And the fact of the matter is that this third party, this Ross Perot party,
right,
you know, is really considering you.
Well, they really like me, but they like me for one reason, because the polls do very well. I do very well in the polls for some reason.
Now, between you and me, I know that you have a book coming out pretty soon, right?
Correct.
Right. I believe that this is great advance publicity for the book.
Well, that's true, but I am really considering this. But it would be very, very important to have your endorsement.
What is an exploratory committee? Because everybody puts one of those together.
Well, Robin, before I tell you about exploratory committee, you know, in my last book, I did a lot of television, a lot of this, a lot of that. And when I had a book signing on Fifth Avenue, a big book signing, thousands of people, a lot of people showed up. Most of the people that showed up weren't from the very famous television shows that we all know and love. They were from Howard shows.
Right.
They all said they're here because they heard me on Howard. And I was really amazed at that.
He's not running, though. You know that, Robin. Because first of all, that would destroy.
That kind of
you don't. It's fun to get the publicity and the hype.
Donald doesn't do things by committee. He can't work with Congress.
Right. You wouldn't do that. And the fact of the matter is that you're having too good a life. I mean, to even consider that horrible job. It really is a horrible job. Unless you got nothing. Unless you're a loser.
Now, do you think Clinton's a happy man, Howard?
I think for Clinton, this is something
This was the best thing that could have happened to him.
This was his career.
Got him
Let me ask you, what's going to happen with Clinton when he retires as a young man of 53 or 54?
He's gonna run a company or something.
Well, but do you think he'll stay married?
Well, I don't think I think he will because
she lets him do whatever he wants.
He's got the perfect marriage.
Right.
He does whatever he damn well pleases.
I think she might even encourage him.
Right. I don't think she really wants him on top of her, and that's the way it goes. I mean, it's unbelievable. Hey, you know, let me get a glimpse of your life. Let me get a glimpse of your life.
Go ahead.
Now, what I read from this supermodel you're dating, who is a knockout.
Melania from Austria.
She's very sweet, too.
Yeah.
Sweet girl.
How do you know she's sweet?
I've met her.
Who cares if she's sweet?
But she is.
That's right. Robin did meet her. That's absolutely right.
Hey, by the way, are you serious about Oprah as your running mate?
Well, in terms of getting votes, I think Oprah would be great. I mean, I'm very friendly with Oprah, and I think she's great.
Yeah, but I've heard a lot of white guys say that they're very nervous if you run with Oprah because then they will kill you so Oprah can become president.
You think black people will kill Donald?
I don't think that. This is what these horrible racists are thinking. Can you imagine?
Well, I guess there is some racism out there. On occasion, you do see racism. There's no doubt.
It's horrible that people would think that way.
Yes.
That someone would kill you to get Oprah as president. But I don't think she can run. She can hardly walk, let alone run. I don't know. So you're telling me that your life now, you are in a monogamous relationship.
Yes.
You are not cheating on your girlfriend.
That is correct.
She is so satisfying to you right now.
She's very satisfying.
Are you living with her?
No.
Because she implies that what the relationship is, she's very busy during the day. You're very busy, obviously.
Right.
And then at night, you two link up.
That's true, which is the ultimate time to link up.
And does she leave after you have sex with her, or does she sleep over?
No, she'll generally she'll stay over.
Oh, too bad. Well, you don't have the perfect relationship.
Generally.
Oh, that's too bad.
I'm sorry to hear that. So you're there with her now?
She is. You know, in fact, she's listening right now to the radio. And
really?
I thought I could do this. Maybe I'd do it a little bit earlier. In fact, I was thinking about calling up a little bit earlier, but you know, I just had a hard time doing that for another reason.
So you got.
But I'll tell you, I really didn't want her to listen because you know when I did his television show, Robin, your television show.
Yes.
And you started whipping out all the posters of Linda Evangelista and this one and that.
Right.
You know, it's very embarrassing if you're going with somebody in particular. It's very embarrassing. So I didn't want her to listen, but she is listening.
But that's why she digs you, because you can get chicks like that.
Well, maybe. Who knows? You never know.
And do you have to talk to her a lot, or does she pretty much keep quiet?
She's quiet.
Good.
Beautiful. Very nice. And very smart.
Boy, I can't think of anything more perfect. The only thing I can think she could do is turn into a pizza after you have sex with her. that would be about as perfect as it gets, wouldn't it?
That's about as good as it gets.
Oh, my God.
But he's not on a work tear right now because the last time I saw him, he says, yes, we just got back from Monte Carlo. You know, he's smelling the roses.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I'm having a lot of fun, Howard. I'm having a lot of fun in business. My business has been great.
Right.
And the city is booming, as you know, and you know, Rudy's done a very good job.
He has been great.
Whether people love him or don't love him, and Rudy has been a great mayor.
Right.
And the city is absolutely booming, and I'm the biggest developer in New York now by far, and I'm having a lot of fun.
I'll tell you, you're smelling more than roses, my friend. You are absolutely doing
in the
it.
early 90s, it
Who are you going to vote for?
Being a developer in New York, Howard.
You going to vote for Rudy or Hillary?
Well, I'm a Rudy man.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, Howard, he's done such a good job. How can you not let him go into the next stage? I mean, I frankly wish he could be mayor for another 4 years.
You have to reward a guy who's done a good job.
Absolutely.
That's
and I think she's very nice. I've met her a number of times.
What has she done for us?
She hasn't done anything. She hasn't proven herself.
Rudy has been a great mayor. You have to let him go to stage 2.
That's right. I agree. All right, so the point is you're banging this supermodel. And when you get tired of her, you'll have another supermodel. But it seems to me you're digging this one.
Well, she's very exceptional,
But you're not going to get married again, you know?
She's really beautiful.
You would never marry
really
again.
Smart.
You would never marry again.
Well, you know, I have to tell you this, Howard. This is a terrible thing, and this is going to really disturb you. But, you know, marriage is a great institution. Now, some of us just haven't gotten it right. But you've gotten it right. I mean, look, you've had a great relationship
Yes, my wife and I have
and you could never say that marriage hasn't been great. You know, I know Alison, and she's a tremendous woman. And you know, it's going to be very tough for you to top that. And you're always going to feel guilty as hell, Howard.
Yes.
And every time you meet some beauty, you're going to say, "Oh my God, am I guilty?" But then you're going to go have fun.
So
you'll get over it.
That's how you get through the day.
No, the guilt lasts for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then you get over it.
So you are having a good time, and the fact of the matter is that your life now is pretty much perfect. And you would never get married again. But I think this woman thinks you're going to marry her. Is that true?
Well, I don't know. This has been a good year.
Has she brought up marriage? Has she brought up marriage?
No, she hasn't.
She knows better, because that would scare you right away.
Well, it would frighten me, but I do like the concept of marriage. I'm a great believer in marriage if you have the right woman.
Let me ask you something. So this supermodel is a stunning woman. I know people who have actually seen her in person, and they tell me it's unbelievable. So what is the greatest thrill? To take her
let's say, to take her to Monte Carlo, which is better, like being alone with her and banging her, or is it better to like just put her in a bikini and put her out on the beach somewhere and sit next
like
to her?
Dresses her like a Barbie doll.
Excuse me. This is guy talk, Robin. Which is better?
I think all of the above.
Really? No, but I mean, I would think like you go to like hot resorts, right? You know what I mean? Like warm weather?
That's right.
And she'll put on what, like a thong and a little top?
Very small thong.
And you sit there, you probably, what are you in, a Speedo?
In an overcoat.
In an overcoat. You don't care. And
well, you look, Howard, and you say, how can something be so beautiful?
But is it great? Is it great when, like, you're sitting there and every guy is staring at her?
Everybody.
Really?
Everybody.
And you love that?
This is a beautiful woman.
Do you take her?
A very good woman.
Do you take her to topless beaches?
No, I don't.
Let me ask you something.
But she'd be a standout there.
When you go to restaurants and stuff with her?
Right.
Do you make out with her in the restaurants?
No, I generally don't.
He's discreet.
I generally don't. But when I will say this, when we walk into a restaurant, the place, I mean, I watch grown men weep.
And that turns you on, right?
I love that.
Does she ever put her toes in your crotch while you're eating dinner?
No, one man fell off his seat recently. He was turning around.
I believe it.
A guy I know who really hates my guts. He truly hates me.
Who is the guy? Name him.
Well, I'd like to name him. I tell him, but, I don't want to give him the credit. And he hates my guts. And we walked in. And
was it Al Goldstein?
He turned around, and the chair tilted over, and he went on his ass. I loved it. I thought it was so great.
You like that. So when you sit there, like, does she dress up real hot? Like, does she always wear, like, mini skirts and stuff?
She wears, well, she's a pretty conservative person, but she will wear pretty wild clothing.
And can you go to like you go to like regular restaurants and stuff with her?
Yes.
And then like you walk in and you sit at a table.
Right.
And does she ever not like wear panties? And then like you're sitting. Please, Robin. I have to ask these questions.
Howard, you're talking about a potential first lady. This is not appropriate.
Yeah, but forget that. Please, you got to help me out with this. I got to know because I have no life. Let me ask you something. You're telling me she sits there with no panties, and then like does she ever like put her foot in your crotch? Go ahead. Answer.
Well, I'll say this. We get along very well.
Oh.
We get along very, very well.
Have you ever felt her up in public? He has, I know.
Mentally?
No,
I'm very well behaved, actually. In almost all ways. I'm very down the middle.
How did you meet the supermodel?
I met her at a very big party in New York. And she was there along with other supermodels, and I looked at all of them, and I said, that's the one that's the most beautiful.
Wow.
And she's considered the most beautiful by the other girls. I mean, she's really considered the most beautiful. But she's, beyond beauty, she's a very nice person.
And you got stank on your hang low the first night?
Oh, Jay.
I didn't do well with her the first night.
You didn't?
No, it was not working. The whole thing was not working the first night.
And like, how long does it take you to romance? Because you got the great apartment, you got the cars, you got the yachts,
He's got all the accoutrements.
Yeah, you got the 20 billion buildings with your name on it. I mean, you got it all, buddy. I mean, you got it all, Donald.
How do you like Bell, by the way, opening up his new studio right in my new building, the General Motors building?
Yeah. Please,
Isn't that great?
It's great.
I'll tell you, you said something before. He is a great guy.
He is a great. I told you that.
Everybody loves him.
He came in, and General Motors occupied the space. Now, General Motors.
Can we get back to the supermodel? No offense. Can we get back to that supermodel?
Okay, let's go.
All right, wait a second. So you're on a date and everything.
I thought I could get him off the subject, right?
Where do you take her on a first date? This hot broad, and she's what? How tall is she?
She's 5'11", I guess.
Not an ounce of cellulite, right?
No cellulite, no.
You've checked everywhere.
She really doesn't know what the word means.
Can you bring her in here so I can check her for cellulite?
Isn't it nice when somebody doesn't know what the word means?
Yeah, she's like, how do these girls get cellulite? She's got an accent, right?
A little bit of an accent.
I thought you were off that.
No, he loves accents.
No, I went back to it. I reverted back.
Remember what I told you? An accent's cute.
I started off with an accent, and now I went back to an accent.
So what is she, Austrian?
Austrian and
Austrian.
Romanian.
Oh, she's a Schweinhund. That's nice. She's commanding. I like that. She's 5'11". And when she puts on heels, she's taller than you almost.
When she puts, I'm 6'3", so I'm pretty much there. But she's very tall and has a great presence.
Yeah, I didn't notice her towering over him.
Well, Robin, I should take. Hey, Robin,
no, Donald's
will you convince Howard? I should, because a lot of friends want to do this with me.
What?
I should take Howard out one night in New York.
Oh, I'll go with you.
I'm serious, Howard.
I got to stay awake.
I feel very disloyal by saying this to Alison. I feel very disloyal in a way because
Don't worry, nothing good will happen to me. You don't have to worry about it.
Howard, you should come out with me some night.
You're inviting me?
For a presidential candidate, I'll tell you this. For a presidential candidate, I have the best time. You know,
Really?
one thing.
Where would we go? Where would we go?
We would go. Well, I don't want to tell you the name of the places because I don't want to make them any hotter than they are. But
I see.
But you would have an unbelievable time. You know, we were talking about presidential candidate. Gore has spent $22 million
Right.
so far.
Yes.
I've spent exactly $22 million less than that.
Right. So you're really on a roll.
I'm doing it on the cheap. So
I know.
far.
That's good.
But
Well,
if I decide to do it, I'll spend a lot of money.
Let me tell you, you take me out with you, I'll back you all the way, buddy.
Howard, you should come out with me. I'm serious.
Well, can you imagine that?
You will see things.
I need
Howard,
to do that.
you will see things that you have never
seen before.
Really?
Yeah. But I feel very disloyal by telling you this. This is terrible.
You don't have to feel disloyal.
See, they could get back together if you don't get into it.
No, if he comes with
You
me,
might ruin it.
Robin, the problem, if he comes out with me, he'll never get back
That's
together.
what I'm saying.
Really?
You got to stay away.
No,
Well, let
don't
me see
do
what
it.
you-
Howard, don't call me.
No. Let
I
me
guarantee
see.
at 11 o'clock, the first call I get is going to be from Howard, Robin.
Why don't we double date at the Siegfried and Roy 3D movie?
Well, this isn't going to be just a light dinner at 21, Howard.
Well, I'm going to take you up on that because I need to see what you're up to.
Will you let me, anytime I would love to go, you know, we would just have a great time.
Really? I need this.
And I'm serious, you would see things.
I'll bring the Viagra.
I don't think you'll need it.
I don't need that.
You won't need it, Howard.
Really? Where the hell is he going? I got to find out.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, but do you think I fit in with those?
You know, if
Do you think I fit in?
Hey, Howard,
Do you think I fit in with
the
those?
proper woman, you don't need Viagra.
But do you think I would fit in your blue blood friends?
I think you'd fit in
He
beautifully.
doesn't have blue blood.
Sure he does.
Everybody.
You know what? I actually don't. The people that actually, you know, even in these polls, the people that dislike me the most by far are the rich people.
What do I got to do if I go out with you? Wear a suit?
You don't have to wear anything. Howard.
Really?
No, go naked.
I'd stick out like Joan Rivers.
Go naked.
I like the naked because that would make even more of an impact.
Yeah, you get more chicks. So, all right, okay, I hear what you're saying. I don't. Listen,
But you should do this, Howard.
I'm going to do it.
And I
because
know you will. Hey, Robin, I have no doubt that very soon, like I'll say this every once in a while, I'll say it to a friend of mine, like a really rich friend of mine.
I'll wear a
you want to
codpiece.
come out with me? And I say it lightly, and you think the guy won't even bother. Like 12 minutes later, you get a phone call.
Yeah, quick, take me.
A date.
No, I actually feel very funny about, you know, I feel like I'm imposing when I...
Well, you might as well start on the top, Howard.
You.
I know, but I don't know if he's asking me because I'm on the air or he's asking me
No. I
because he
tell
was-
you, you would have a great time.
I got to tell you, Donald, see, you wouldn't because when people hang out with me, they're nauseous. I'm horrible to hang out with.
Donald won't even know you're there. He's busy.
You know the
I'll
truth,
be the whole time.
Robin's right.
That's my wife. The whole time.
I'll forget about you so fast.
Here's what killed my marriage. We would go out and I'd say to my wife, I want to just go home. I'm not having a...
Donald won't know when you leave.
And
Really?
Robin, he's not going to
Donald
want to
won't
go
care.
home so fast.
All right, Donald, I'm going to take you up on it because my audience needs to see me go out and
Yes.
go out with you.
And you can even report back to your audience, Howard.
Do I need to wear a codpiece for this?
You can wear anything you want.
Because it'll make my crotch look bigger. All right, listen, Donald. Seriously, good luck with the presidential run. I'll be following that.
But you have to endorse me, Howard.
Yes, sure, I'll endorse you. What else have I got to do?
You know, look, I made billions of dollars. Hey, look, I watched Bush the other day on television.
Right.
And I'm not sure that's what you want.
I'm not sure that's what I want either.
I'm really not.
I don't know anything about him. All I know is he knows less than I do about world politics.
Right. And you watched the debate between Bradley and Gore.
Yes, I did.
And I don't think that's what you want either.
All right, I'll listen. I think it'd be interesting. 4 years of you.
You know, take a good, strong look at it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Tell you what, this country won't be ripped off anymore, Howard.
I know you'll get a good deal.
We'll get good deals.
You guys are great businessmen.
Oh, yeah.
You got
Lots of good deals and lots of lower taxes. But I'll make a decision over the next couple of months. But it's been interesting, and it's certainly been fun for me.
Let me talk to that broad in your bed.
I could almost have her talk to you.
You could? Let me just say.
Actually, she's outside in another room listening to this.
What is she doing next? What is she wearing?
I don't know. Maybe I should get her in. Do you want me to get her in?
Yeah, let me talk to her for a second. Let me talk to her. What's her name again? Melanie?
It begins with an M. I never can get it quite right.
Oh, man. That chick. Do you ever see that chick?
I've seen her up close.
She's scary looking. She's so good looking. That's some broad. Wonder what she's wearing. I'm just going to ask her what she's wearing. Think Trump would make prostitution legal?
And no, because he doesn't understand.
Hello?
Hey,
Hi, how are you?
you are so hot.
Oh, thank you.
I see pictures of you. I can't believe it. You're a dream.
Oh,
You are so
so
hot.
you're coming out with us?
Yes, I am, baby. Let me tell you something. I want you to put on your hottest outfit.
Okay, no problem.
What are you going to wear?
Oh, I don't tell you now. You will see.
Let me ask you this. What are you wearing right now?
Not much.
What, are you naked? Are you nude?
Almost.
I have my pants off already.
That's Donald's girl. You got to get your own girl.
What if you see me and you see how hot I am?
Okay, let's see later.
We'll find out, mein Liebchen.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what are you, you're in love with Trump?
Sorry?
Are you in love with Trump?
Yeah, we have a great time.
You want to marry him?
I'm not answering that.
You don't even care.
Let's see, what?
You don't even care.
Why?
You're perfect. And what do? You go over there every night and you guys have sex?
That's true. We have a great time.
Every night you have sex?
Mm-hmm. Even more.
Are you very loving?
Mm-hmm.
You are?
Yes.
I could see you need love. You can't trust anybody. You ever steal money from his wallet?
No, I never do that.
Really?
No.
That's so silly.
You're very beautiful. Very, very beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
What do you do? Do you like to go to beaches?
I do.
What do you wear on the beach?
Actually, I like just, to take more private. Bikini on the beach, of course.
Bikini or thong?
Thong.
Thong.
When I say bikini, it means thong,
For me, I always mispronounce it. I call it a thong.
Lines on the body, it's not good.
Yeah, the lines on the body.
Mm-hmm.
And you have
nice, right?
And you have a big chest for a model.
Sorry?
You have a very nice chest for a model. You're not flat-chested.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like a man with a very soft, dimpled buttocks? That's me. I have a lot of cellulite. You don't have an ounce of cellulite, do you?
do.
Yeah, I have cellulite. I admit it.
Oh, okay.
Some chicks dig that.
Mm-hmm.
They like a soft man.
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah, it's like.
You like a soft, mushy man?
Do you like a soft, unattractive man? Because that's me.
Oh.
I tell you, you are perfect.
Oh, thank you.
I tell you, I don't see a flaw on you. And
You want to speak with Donald?
Okay.
She's tired of you.
All right, thank you.
All right.
All right.
Take care.
I love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
What do you think of that?
Oh, Jesus
How's
Christ.
that accent?
Well, you know what it is. The accent's cute now, but you better not get married.
I know, it's...
Because you know what happened with Ivana's accent was cute for a long time, and then
It was amazing. It was so cute, and then one day I woke up and it was terrible. I couldn't stand it.
Boy, that chick's something. And you know what? She's not too chatty.
No, she's very smart.
Oh.
Maybe too smart.
You marry her, though, you're going to want to gag her. You're not going to want to hear that
Yeah,
accent.
I'm a little concerned, Howard, that she may be too smart.
Too smart.
I have to be careful, Robin.
I told her I had a big bratwurst, but I don't think she'd believe me. All right, listen, Donald, I don't want to keep... I know you have a busy day of sex ahead of you. You haven't had sex yet today, have you?
I refuse to comment.
Oh, man. She's naked there, isn't she?
She is actually naked.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a thing of beauty.
Oh, what a life you
Not
have.
so bad, Robin.
This is a candidate. We're talking.
Hey, Donald.
That's right.
Let me put
You're
you on...
dealing now with a candidate, Howard.
Can you have sex with her while we're on hold? Please.
Wouldn't that be nice?
You should have sex with her and just leave the... Like, you know what? Don't hang up. Just leave the phone,
Right.
like, on the floor. And I'll listen in.
No.
And watch your ratings go even higher.
Can you imagine my ratings? I would owe you big time.
Speaking of the poll.
Oh, darling, it's big. It's too big for me. You're hurting me. Oh, my God, it would be unbelievable. All right, Donald, listen. Please, Donald, don't put it there.
Oh, my goodness.
Donald.
Yes?
I mean, Mr. Trump.
Is this your average interview, Robin, for presidential candidate?
Not for a politician.
I would think
You know what?
somehow-
This is why you'd be a great candidate, because you're refreshingly honest. Clinton, believe me, Clinton's doing the same stuff. He's just not talking
He won't
about it.
talk about it.
No.
You gave the greatest
And
quote.
the level of quality is not there either, Howard.
I'm telling you, I was watching an interview with Donald, and very seriously, Donald said, listen, I don't think America was shocked by the Monica Lewinsky thing. They were shocked by that he wasn't with a supermodel.
Right.
That he was with some big fat chick.
Oh.
And even Donald couldn't believe it.
Well, I did make the statement that there are those that say that if President Clinton was caught with a supermodel, he would have been everyone's hero. Now, of course, I would never say a thing like that, but there are those that say that.
I believe you might have said it.
Somebody said that.
Hey, Donald, listen, we're going to follow your candidacy, and please come in and see us soon.
Anytime you want, Howard, I'll see you soon. And if you want, call me seriously.
All
I'm
right.
serious about that. And Robin, keep up the good work.
And you have an open invitation on this show. You know that.
I know that.
All right.
And I appreciate it.
Donald Trump is a great friend of this show, and President Trump will be a reality. Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
Thank you, Mr. President.
So long, Robin.
Mr. President, go back to that girl.
I will.
Right. There's Mr. President, Donald Trump. Holy cow.
Well, the one thing that's happened here is that President Clinton has proved you can be into women and still run the country.
Hey, I'd rather just see a guy who's honest, having sex, and admitting it.
I don't need a guy to be married to some housefrau to be president.
People used to think that a guy who was this into women would be too busy, but the president has already proven that's not so.
I like how Donald Trump is campaigning from his bedroom. I love that.
Yeah, he calls you.
Calls here. He's done. Very efficient.
Hasn't spent a dime.
Yeah, he didn't have to go to New Hampshire. They were listening into this. Wow. Well, there it is, an exclusive interview with possibly the next president of the United States.
And the first lady.
And the first lady.
First of many ladies.
Right. Wow. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back right after these words.
What do you think of Donald Trump?
What do I think of him? I think he was a good businessman, a real estate guy, and he was certainly terrific on The Apprentice.
What do you think of him as president of the United States?
I don't think that Donald ever should have been president, and I don't think that even Donald thought he was going to be president.
You're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
Don't act like you don't know what this is, bitch. You know the Cash-App?
Cash-App, $milkcratemarauder.
You are trying to talk me out of making a decent salary that's less than what a migrant worker would make.
You know the Venmo, PayPal, and all that.
Venmo, @milkcratemarauder.
Yeah, well, how long it take you motherfuckers to cut a check?
I don't give a fuck if you send us a bag of nickels. Just send that shit.
Subscribe to the channel, you funky bastard.
I am not fucking impressed. Look, man, I've got to stay alive. You mutt-sucking sons of bitch.